Western Conference Finals. Thunder and newly minted MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander lead the T-Wolves. They are up 1-0, the Thunder are. Game 2 is in Oklahoma City. Tip-off there set for 7:30. You can catch that game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 o'clock. And Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay passed away yesterday at the age of 65.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio.
There's so much. Now I know you left early yesterday to go over to Ken's TV for Deborah Knapp's final newscast, which is quite an honor and an experience.
It was awesome.
That you got to do. And, in talking about the game yesterday, I said late in the show, I'm going to be watching more hockey tonight than basketball. I thought the Pacers would win the series, and I thought the Knicks were going to win the game last night. And watching yesterday, now there were 2 choke jobs. You're aware of one. The other one, you would have to say, are the Edmonton Oilers. They were up 3-1 going into the third period against the Dallas Stars, who quickly tied the game at 3 in the third, then took the lead. It's 4-3. Then it was 5-3. They ended up winning 6-3. So in my living room, I've got the big TV was on hockey, little TV on basketball. And the Knicks had a big lead, and I'm watching hockey. Once it was 5-3, the Pacers were making their comeback. So I switched. And at no point during that comeback that the Pacers were making in the fourth quarter last night did I actually think Indiana was going to win that game. Knicks, get a stop, make a free throw. Get a stop, make a bucket. All I'm worried about now is the spread, right? And then Halliburton hit that 3 or 2. But he thought it was a 3.
Thought it was.
Went straight to the choke celebration a little early.
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love that. I had forgotten that was a Reggie Miller thing.
Oh, how? Really?
Yeah, I had forgotten that, but it fits. And Tyrese Halliburton, man, I tell you what, he's fun to watch.
He's so underrated or overrated.
He is so much fun to watch. But everybody says, "Oh, what a great game from Halliburton." Dude, Aaron Nesmith made a deal with the devil or something.
Who is that guy?
I mean, how many three-pointers did that guy hit in a row? I was just saying there's no way he makes this one. Swish. No way he makes that one. Swish. No way. Swish. It was incredible. An incredible game last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very good. Very entertaining.
And did you watch any hockey?
I did not. No. Was it on last night? I did not watch hockey. No. The basketball game was too good.
It wasn't.
It was too good.
It was good in the final 5 minutes.
But if I would have turned over and started watching hockey, I would have missed what may be one of the greatest comebacks in sports history.
I think that was the crazy thing. By the time the Dallas had that 2-goal lead, I think when I turned it over, the Knicks were up by 12, and you watched that go away. So I saw the comeback, but it's crazy. At no point did I actually think Indiana was going to finish the comeback. And I don't know who you blame for that. Coaching, yes. Players, yeah, all of it. I mean, just a complete choke job. And once it went to overtime, I didn't think Indiana would lose. The Knicks looked tired. They were gassed.
They were gassed.
It's game 1.
That's what Indiana does to you. They're running you up and down the floor. They're deep. They can do that. Jalen Brunson had nothing left.
No.
He had absolutely nothing left. I think a guy had 7 turnovers last night. And look, if they didn't win that game, they had to win that game. Because now I think New York's in deep trouble. I don't think they can hang with Indiana at all.
You calling this a must-win in game 2?
I'm not saying it's a must-win.
I mean, I think you just said it's a must-win in game 2.
Last night was a must-win.
Uh-huh.
But you can't blow a 16-point lead in your own house. Yeah.
They were road warriors in the first round.
Well, they were.
Indiana's not Detroit, though.
No. No. Well, and they're not Cleveland either, right? I mean, so, dude, I'm going to tell you what, that Pacers team is good. And not only are they good, they're deep. They're deep, and they run you off the floor. That's what I love watching that game last night. It was fantastic.
Well, I mean, Halliburton was fantastic. And that certainly was a fun ending.
Let's say his name. Aaron Nesmith.
Who?
Get to know him. Aaron Nesmith.
Will we ever hear from him again?
Well, I don't know. Doesn't matter. He'll always be remembered as the dude that made about 503 three-pointers in game one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I kept waiting for the dude to miss. He just didn't miss. It was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It
was certainly fun times. And a hell of a game. And then, of course, tonight you get game 2 between Oklahoma City and Minnesota. A game you can listen to here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star shortly after the Blitz. You got to expect better from Ant tonight, don't you?
I would think. I think you would think better from everybody on Minnesota's
and
team.
I know it's a game 2. But if you're Minnesota, are you looking at this as a must-win?
No.
All right.
No, because you're on the road. Now, you'd like to get a split, but you know what they're going to say if they lose tonight. So, well, they did what they had to do. Now we got to go back home and do what we have to do, protect our home court.
Now, if they get blown out again in the second half.
Well, that's a problem, yeah.
And here's the thing. They missed a ton of threes the other night in game 1.
Yeah, they did.
A ton of open threes. They didn't get to the paint. I can't wait to see the adjustments that Minnesota tries to make tonight to try to get into the paint, get to the foul line, see what they can do.
Yeah, because SGA is going to do that. And he's going to get to the foul line. There's no doubt about it. He's tough. But I think Minnesota, they may not win tonight, but it's going to be a much better game. I don't think we're going to see another blowout. I just don't. I mean, Minnesota's decent. They're good.
It's the Western Conference Finals. They're more than decent.
Now, I don't know if I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, but
7.5?
I might, because I got to be transparent. I took the Knicks minus 4.5. I'm watching that go away. And when it went to overtime, I said, the hell with it. I hope Indiana wins this game. And they did.
You hate the Knicks now because they cost you $1.
I do, and it serves me right. That's karma. Because I hate the Knicks, and they're choke artists, and they always let their fans down. And I should have known that they were going to do it again.
In the last hour, a little bit of breaking news in college football. The college football playoff after last year, and they went, hey, wait a minute, so Boise State's getting a home playoff game and a bye? We got to fix that. So now they are going to go with straight seeding. So those final rankings, top 4 teams, you're going to get a bye and go from there. So no more of this conference champion is guaranteed a first-round bye BS.
Well, is it BS? So winning your conference doesn't mean anything. No, it means nothing. So we're just going to have 4 SEC teams, 1 through 4, because that's how it's going to be.
Well, I mean, the Big Ten would like a word.
Maybe a Big Ten team will be in there. We'll see. And everybody else can go pound sand. I don't know if that's good. I mean, at least if you win your conference, you knew you were going to get a home game. This is SEC, Big Ten politicking is all this is, and they won because they're the kings of the hill.
Well, they are the kings of the hill. You're at least going to get the first-round bye. I'm curious to read and see, and I haven't seen this yet, if you are a conference champion, will you get a home game? Because if you go straight seeding, there should be some sort of reward, I would think, but I haven't seen the full details of how it's going to work. The big headline is 1 through 12, that's who's getting in, and that's going to be the seeding. None of this, well, you're the 10, but because you won your conference, you get a first-round bye. And a lot of people complained about that last year, and I think you were one of them.
Was I?
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them.
Arizona State doesn't deserve a bye and to host a game, but Boise State. I think you said something like that.
I never said that, and there's no proof of it.
I think it's on tape.
None.
It might be on tape.
I don't think so. If you can find it, that'd be one thing.
Good luck, Pledge.
Yeah. We got Edwin here today.
We do.
Edwin's here because Pledge is, he's off.
Mm-hmm.
A little ticked off at Pledge, going to play a really nice golf course today. I didn't get an invite. Did you?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. So I'm a little bitter, a little upset with Pledge.
I think that's
right.
called jealousy.
Well, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, FOMO.
Uh-huh.
Something like that, right? I don't know. We got a good show coming up, though, Minix. I tell you, you mentioned a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, Dara. Does Dara have a last name, or does it really matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
And I don't know they're allowed to use them.
Ah, okay. Well, so we're just going to introduce her as Dara, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader?
DCC Dara.
DCC Dara. Okay. That makes sense not to use their last name. I get that.
Although, I don't know. Like the other ones that we've become friends with and done different events with, they all have last names on their Instagram.
That's true.
But when the Cowboy cheerleaders set this up, because they're coming to the Majestic on Sunday, all it says is, Dara.
DCC
And there was
Dara.
a link to her page.
Yeah. It's a great page, too, by the way. I'm just saying, it's a very good page. Well done is what it is. So we'll talk to Dara at 2:30 about the event that they're doing here in San Antonio on Sunday. Our YouTube people, and by the way, you can go to our YouTube page and subscribe and like and comment there, but I guess they heard my Sports Center. Jim Irsay died. Somebody other Jim Irsay was a drunk.
Oh, stop.
I'm like, dude, you just died. Come on, man.
He was.
Well, okay.
He fought his demons.
Yes.
He battled that in painkillers. A lot of people right there that probably made that comment are dealing with something. But, man, the good that man did, and I don't know that you understand. I certainly did. And I mean, all these rich guys always donate to different charities. But everything that I've read about Jim Irsay and all the people that are talking about him since he passed was the philanthropy that he did, the hundreds of millions of dollars that he gave away. And so, yeah, he might have had his demons, like a lot of people do. But and you knew he did good. Most rich people do some sort of charity work, but he's seemingly above and beyond what most do.
Now, it was the Irsay family that moved the Colts out of Baltimore, right? It was. Okay.
Yeah, his dad.
Peyton Manning, just in his statement, you could hear him crying. He thought very highly of Jim Irsay.
Pat McAfee might have one of the best eulogies, if you will, on Twitter. And the way McAfee opened his show today. But all these other different former players that you wouldn't think, because they don't have the star status as, say, a Peyton Manning,
right?
Talking about Jim Irsay, but all of them come back to the philanthropy part, the amount of money that he donated, and apparently the relationships that he created with his players. And, there's only one other owner that I know that does stuff at that level, and that's Jerry Jones. To a degree, it seems like McNair in Houston is kind of that way, but a lot of these owners, they don't really have those relationships with the players. Robert Kraft in New England does with I don't know, with everybody, but like everybody knows Jerry, and Jerry has this crazy memory. He can meet you, and you might have been on the team for 2 or 3 years, but when he sees you, he's going to know you.
Yeah.
And he's going to ask about your family and your mom or your dad or your girlfriend or your kids by name. That's one of those abilities that Jerry Jones has, and I've seen that so many times with, you played for the Cowboys when? Jerry sees you, Joe, man, how's it? It's crazy. And it seems like Jim Irsay had that, even though it might not be as well known as some, or maybe it is in the Indy area, but certainly not globally. I'm just blown away at the amount of money that you hear that he donated. Apparently anybody having a cause, they asked, they received.
That's fantastic. That's really good. So rest in peace, Jim Irsay. He was only 65 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
I think he battled cancer is what
he had some medical issues. Yeah. I mean, it's always weird when you read he died in his sleep in the afternoon. So he went and took a nap.
Yeah.
I mean, and he wasn't doing well, and there were some questions about his overall health around the draft, because he did not speak to the media around the draft, which is very unusual for Jim Irsay, even though his daughter's been running the day-to-day for some time.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace. And again, some very, very awesome eulogies, I guess, or messages, whatever, from Peyton
Tributes.
Manning and tributes and and McAfee. So if you get an opportunity to see those, see them. We got a lot of stuff to do today, a lot to give away as well. Simple plan. Cowboys cheerleader tickets. We're going to qualify another person for the ACL Fest. We've also got tickets for the Rangers-Cardinals game on May 30th. So we got all of that to do today. Plus, again, DCC Dara will be here at 2:30. Looking forward to that. But coming up next, you mentioned Jerry Jones. He's got a clear message for one Micah Parsons. Yeah, that's right. We'll tell you what that is when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I've got an idea for a new bit we need to do.
Okay.
I'm not paying. Like you're at a restaurant.
Okay.
They screw your order up. Just sit there and say, I'm not paying.
What is that? Those are mashed potatoes, sir. I'm not paying.
Right, I'm not paying.
Maybe we should advise people, don't ever try to pull this on like a hooker or a drug dealer.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning. Check out the YouTube channel, complete with live video stream at jcwshow.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there tomorrow. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Coverage varies by plan.
View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
They say all good things come to those who wait, but not for those who wait for that next auto breakdown that could cost you thousands of dollars. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%, and if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance Auto Protection Plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-282-6709. That's 800-282-6709. 800-282-6709.
Carbach Brewing was not born in San Antonio, Texas, but they have certainly gone out of their way to make San Antonio their second home. We had the head brewer come in, and he said when they first started to reach outside of Houston, San Antonio was the place they wanted to be, and does it show. Carbach beer is all over our great city, from their in-your-face flagship IPA, Hopadillo, to the Ziegenbach, to their best seller, the Love Street, their Kolsch-style blonde. There is something for everyone in Carbach's lineup, and it is all over the place. Of course, you're going to find it at the grocery stores. Of course, you're going to find it at the liquor stores, but it's also at a bunch of bars and restaurants around town. They wanted to make this their second home, and that's what it's become. So when you're out, you're watching the games at your local sports bar, your local restaurant, your local hangout, you're thinking, I want to elevate my beer game a little bit. Well, friend, wherever you're at, they probably have some Carbach either on tap or in cans. So when you're out and about doing your thing, go ahead and make sure to ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, why didn't I try harder when I was a kid? My goodness. You know, to be a Michael Jordan and a Tyrese Halliburton and SGA would be so nice, wouldn't it? Instead, well, we're just Jason and Joe. This is The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The money that is being thrown around for some of these ex-athletes, and current ones for that matter, is unbelievable.
Well, and it's Twitter, so who knows? But the reports are that Michael Jordan's deal with NBC is $40 million, highest paid sports analyst in history.
So $40 million for what? 1 year?
I'm guessing it's a year deal, but his role with NBC hasn't officially been defined, but apparently it's all taped stuff, not even live. I mean, you talk about GOAT status. You want me to do what? Film a 2-minute piece? $40 million.
Yeah, what's Brady making? 37?
Yeah.
I'll take 40.
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
But Brady actually has to work for his.
He does.
He got to go to meetings and everything.
Dude, that is incredible. Incredible. $40 million to, I don't know, what do you think, 5-minute little piece?
Yeah.
Wow.
Give or take.
And Michael Jordan probably carries $40 million around in his wallet.
I mean,
that dude's
I don't know
got
if you could
lots of
close
money.
your wallet with $40 million, but it's available on that American Express card.
I'd like to try.
To what?
I'd close a wallet on $40 million.
I think you might need a big suitcase.
I know. Man. Unbelievable. Well, good for the GOAT. And he is the best basketball player to ever play. There is no debate.
None.
Absolutely not.
None.
No debate. And the best owner in football is Jerry Jones. I love Jerry Jones. Big fan of Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Until he pulls stuff like he's pulling today.
It's the Jerry Jones playbook. And I don't understand this motive, the way I do business, Jerry Jones, because he always ends up signing these deals, and they cost him more. Now, in the case of Micah Parsons, it's not going to cost him more. You know, CeeDee Lamb, it cost him a lot more because he waited. You could probably say the same for Dak. Now, Jerry's always the first to point out it takes two, and it does. And at least in Dak's case, Dak's agent, Todd France, drove a hard bargain and got everything that he wanted and then some.
Yeah.
And CD's case, that number just kept going up as other guys signed. Micah, I don't think that's going to be an issue, although Aiden Hutchins cleared to play today, and that certainly could change some things. And maybe Micah is waiting to see. I don't know. But Jerry said yesterday, late yesterday, according to Jory Epstein, now with Yahoo, she tweeted out, I asked Jerry Jones for an update on the extension for Micah Parsons. Quote, I haven't talked with him in about 4 or 5 weeks. And, of course, that'll be necessary if he's going to get a new contract. But he's got a contract. That's the point. Be sure and clear about that. So there's 2 parts of that quote that probably should make your skin crawl as a Cowboy fan and probably pisses you off if you're Micah Parsons or David Mulligetta. Because Jerry has to talk with Micah if he's going to get a deal. Jerry does not like to talk to agents. He wants to talk directly with a player. Micah has said repeatedly, I ain't doing a deal without my agent's involvement.
Well, couldn't Mulligetta just sit in the corner and listen? I mean, that's how I'd have. David, you go sit over there. Mike and I are going to talk right here. We'll get to you when we need you. Fortunately, knock on all the wood, I haven't been stuck in a room where my lawyer will tell me not to talk and let him do all the talking. But if I'm paying that guy, I want his input on everything, and to sit in a room and be quiet probably isn't it. Jerry, in this part of the business, is smarter than Micah Parsons, is smarter than you are, is smarter than I am. Absolutely.
He's done these contracts a gazillion times. You have a guy like David Mulligetta, so he can't pull one over on you. Not that Jerry would intentionally pull one over on you, but you want to make sure, and that's why you have representation, that everything is covered. Because there's things in there that Micah wouldn't know to ask, I wouldn't know to ask, and your agent should. There's a local guy here named Brian Ehrlich, went to Madison High School. He's a player agent now. We were sitting over at the Roo Pub not long ago, and he was talking, there's when you get paid, how it affects your taxes, all that stuff that agents do.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why you have them. So I don't want that guy in the room and quiet. And then Jerry pulls the line, but he's under contract right now, so I expect him to come to work.
Now, look, I love that. See, I love that. If I didn't know that Jerry is going to cave eventually anyway. If you want to do a hard line, Mr. Jones, that's great. And tell me, hey, dude, you're under contract. You come play and do what your job is, what we're paying you. What is he making, like $27 million this year or something like that, I think. You're under contract. Come play. I don't want to hear about it. We'll discuss that later. But I know Jerry's going to cave. He's going to because he's got a track record. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he will
Zach
cave.
Martin, Zeke Elliott. I mean, all of them. And yes, Jerry, we know that Micah Parsons is under contract. And to this point in his career, he has outplayed the value of that contract. That's the beauty of rookie contracts. We also know how the NFL works. When you go into the final year of your deal, the only leverage the player has is to hold out to get a new deal to secure work beyond this contract. So sure, he's under contract. Brock Purdy was under contract. He got a new one that kicks in after this year. That's how these things work. So yeah, Jerry, we all know he's under contract. We also know the only leverage he has in the final year of his deal is to hold out to get a new one because the CBA allows this. The CBA doesn't say everybody has to play out their contract, and once that contract expires, then you can work on a new one. That's not the way it works.
CeeDee Lamb was under contract when he held out.
Mm-hmm.
It
so was Dak.
Yeah, and look, Micah says all the right things. He's not going to do that, but he's going to have to. If it comes to that, he will. And we all know that CeeDee Lamb got off to a slow start last year. He picked it up after that, but he got off to a slow start. Training camp makes a difference. It does.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're just not believable.
Ask CeeDee Lamb.
It makes a difference, and you need to be there to go through. There's a reason they do it. It's not just, so the coaches can stroke their ego. I mean, there's something to it. So Jerry's going to cave. It will happen. He talks tough now, but he eventually will cave. Unbelievable.
She's not coming in studio. Everybody on YouTube's wanting to know if she's going to be in studio.
Well, we kind of wanted that too, but she actually lives in Dallas, and
They're on tour.
Oh, so they may be somewhere else.
I don't know.
I don't know where they're at.
I mean, they knew Edwin was here today, and they were like, no, we can't come in.
I wish she was coming in.
Well, we all do. I do.
Yes, me too. But she's not. But you'll hear her great voice, I'm sure.
And you could see her Sunday.
And Sunday you can, because we got tickets to give away to that.
We will.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, we're going to qualify somebody for the ACL Fest. We're going to do that. Simple plan. They playing in Houston?
They are.
At the 713 Club?
That's right.
It's not 713?
It'd be whatever you want to call it, sir. Could be the 713 Club.
The 713 Club. Well, we're going to do that. We'll talk to DCC Dara. That's coming up next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America in stock. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need uniforms, he has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. You just need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a dress shirt, fishing shirt, any kind of shirt. Sam has all the big name brands like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Under Armour, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Sammy is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small, and nobody has better prices. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Hey,
How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday morning on the Morning Huddle. We got more basketball to talk about, but that's just the beginning.
There's hockey, and what's the latest with the Cowboys? We'll get into that and plenty more. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Join the Blitz tomorrow at the new Lion and Rose, the Dominion location. It's the best happy hour around with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites with free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6. Tomorrow at the Lion and Rose, located off I-10 at the Dominion exit. You know, sometimes, Jason, when you're having a great day, something happens and it only gets better, and that's happening today. Hi, everybody. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel, Jason Minnick's here as well, and we have a very special guest on the Buyers Barricades guest line.
That's correct. Dallas Cowboy cheerleader Dara joining us here on The Blitz. Not every day you get to talk to a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader unless you're actually one and you're at practice. Dara, how is your day going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, we're doing great. Now.
Tell us, you guys are coming to San Antonio. We've done events with different cheerleaders throughout the years, but I've never seen anything quite like what you guys are going on tour doing, because it says you're on tour. It's a live show and audition. Can you explain what you guys are doing?
Yes, absolutely. So it's the first of its kind. It's a live tour. We're coming to San Antonio this Sunday, May 25th. At 7 p.m., we'll be at Majestic Theater. And the tour, it consists of anything you can think of. We're basically taking our most iconic performances from the sidelines and then bringing them to center stage. And there is a Q&A portion. There is a live audition portion, like you had mentioned, as well as you're going to see our most iconic routines like Thunderstruck. You're going to see never before seen routines. We have different genres. We have solos, duet, trios, all of the things you can imagine. It's a jam-packed show, but it's amazing.
Well, it's the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Of course it's amazing. But when you say auditions, are there girls there that are auditioning to become Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders?
Yes, that's exactly right. So for the first time ever, DCC hopefuls will get to perform a solo audition, like their second round, live on stage with an audience, and there is like an interactive segment with the audience. So they can basically vote to send one candidate directly to finals, which is the last round of in-person auditions. So it's a really cool opportunity for family, for friends, and fans to witness kind of the future stars of the team in action and in a huge moment in their life, and to kind of see their dreams become reality.
You know, this is very Cowboy-like and very Cowboy cheerleader-like as we visit with Cowboy cheerleader Dara here on the Blitz. Now, have you already made the squad for the upcoming season, or are you part of the audition process?
Yes, so I am just concluding my rookie season. Obviously, the tour is kind of like our last big event of the season, but we will join in all the girls auditioning again, which is me. We will be joining in for the in-person round. So right now we're sort of in auditions, but we don't really start until the next round, which is when these candidates hopefully are striving to get to.
Now, Dara, I know just reading your bio, you were a cheerleader at LSU. Did you always want to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader?
I did. So I was a Tiger Girl at LSU, and we won national championships and had amazing experience there. We have a huge sports fan base as well, but there's nothing like the Dallas Cowboys, and this organization is the best of its kind. So I knew that if I wanted to go from the best in college, I wanted to go to the best in NFL, and absolutely that is the Dallas Cowboys. So Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders was definitely always the dream and the goal, and I'm blessed to be here.
You know, and as you say that, you finish your rookie year, the idea of what you thought it was going to be versus the reality, what was the coolest part about being a cheerleader for your first year?
It was better than I could have ever imagined. You know, I watched the CMT show, and then I've obviously watched America's Sweethearts on Netflix, and you see the show and you never could imagine yourself doing that, and it's always just so surreal. Obviously, being in AT&T was amazing. I've never been in a stadium quite like that. So every game was a new experience, and all of the community interactions that we did, veterans hospitals, and just any interaction we had in the community was super, super special, and you can really tell how special and impactful this organization is to so many.
We're visiting with Dallas Cowboy cheerleader Dara, who will be here Sunday, by the way, at the Majestic Theater for the live show and audition. We've got some tickets to give away. We'll do that here coming up in a moment. But, I watched that CMT stuff too, Dara, and it looks like it's a really difficult process. Is it hard?
It's definitely tough. I mean, but that's what it takes to have the best of the best in the organization. So it's tough, but we all love it, and it's worth every single second of it.
Now, you say it, and now you're on tour. So San Antonio is one of a handful of stops that you guys are making. So you're in and out of cities, right? But when you are in a city, like when you come to San Antonio, is it all work, or do you get a little bit of playtime?
We're obviously there to focus on dance, but we're hoping to see a little bit of the city around Texas. I'm obviously from Louisiana, so not quite from Texas, and Texas is very, very large, so I'm excited we're going from end to end. We're going from El Paso is where we end. We start in Dallas, so we're getting to see all the different sites of this great state.
Well, have you ever been to San Antonio before, or will this be your first time?
This will be my first time. I'm so excited.
Wow.
So when you come down, are you hoping to get some good Mexican food or some good barbecue while you're here?
Yes, that's the goal. I think Mexican food's more my style, so I'll go with that.
Well, you'll have plenty of choices. I promise you that.
Although, try to get away from the Riverwalk for your Mexican food if you can.
Yeah, get away from that.
Pro tip.
Noted.
Well, I mean, I don't know, and I don't know how. Are you guys held to like a strict diet, or does that matter at this point in time?
No diet, and we burn so many calories on this tour. We are jam packed with dances and routines and all the things. So we're eating all the things that we want to feel our body and to feel our best, so that we can dance our best and get the best show.
Because on your bio it says your favorite dessert is the Bluebell cookie 2-step ice cream, but your junk food weakness is s'mores, chocolate s'mores, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, all right, well, I mean, when you eat that, you're going to the gym, but like you said, you're burning so many calories, you can go get a good enchilada plate or something, right?
Yes, it's all about balance, yes. And I love the Bluebell cookie 2-step. It's the absolute best.
It's all about balance. You haven't seen us. We don't understand those terms.
We don't understand balance. What? So if I can just kind of dive into your personal life for just a moment, what did you study at LSU?
I actually studied broadcast journalism.
All right.
So very similar to what you guys do, yes.
So you're trying to take our job at some point, right?
I I've done a few things at LSU, just practice, but I definitely give you guys all the applause because doing an actual show day in and day out is a lot of work. So you guys are great.
I love that. You should be our PR person because everybody thinks we have the easiest job alive. I mean, seriously, which we do.
No. Much respect. I would walk around LSU's campus packing around those big cameras and trying to set up everything and all the mics and I understand the back end part of it. So I know you guys' job is really hard.
Well, it's almost kind of in very different ways, but in some similar ways, people see the show, but they don't see what goes into getting ready for the polished version that they're going to see Sunday at the Majestic Theater, the hours of practice that go into that.
Absolutely. Yep, that's exactly right. And, that's one thing I really love about our show and kind of even CMT and America's Sweethearts both kind of encapsulate the behind the scenes of what we do. And you're also going to see that on tour, when you get to talk to our senior director, Kelly Finglass, and our head choreographer, Judy Trammell. They do a whole Q&A section, and that's on the insights. And kind of you can ask questions about the process. And any question that you're dying to know, they are right there in front of you to, answer it for you. You can't get a better answer than from them. So, that's a really cool portion of the tour as well.
But can we ask you questions and the other cheerleaders, or do we have to go through Kelly? We can ask everybody.
Yeah, there is going to be 2 cheerleaders at every stop. That's kind of our little break time there's like a 15-minute Q&A portion, and we're catching our breath for the second half of the show, and there are 2 cheerleaders out there, though, that will answer questions, and they will speak for the team, but we all, back them as well.
So do you pay attention, even though it's your break time, are you kind of paying attention, see what the fans are asking just to see how Kelly answers?
Definitely. We love to watch and pay attention, and they tell the funniest stories. You can't beat their storytelling, so we always love to listen and laugh, and, they're hilarious.
Oh, they are, and Kelly's been doing this for a long time, so I'm sure she's got a lot of stories.
Yes.
Does she have story time with you guys? I mean, just from past cheerleaders and this kind of stuff?
Oh, yes. Even last night they were telling us after practice, we had just finished one of our dress rehearsals, and we were going through notes and everything, and they told us a really funny story that happened at a recent event. And just hearing them interact, and it was a really funny story, and I had never heard it before, so it's just fun to see that side of them. We always see them as our coaches and really giving us feedback and creating the best answers and program they can, but it's really fun to see a different side of them when they open up and get to tell us funny stories, because at the end of the day, they were cheerleaders just like us at one point.
So Dara, really what was the funny story? Give us the Cliff Notes version.
I guess you have to go to the tour to find out.
Well played.
Look at that.
She learned about the T's while in college at LSU.
Very good T's right there, yes. My goodness. So it sounds like, Dara, you're having a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. It's been the best time of my life, truly.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That is awesome. Sunday night at the Majestic. Dara, enjoy the tour. I guess still auditioning, so you've got your rookie year under the belt. I'm guessing if they're letting you do this, you're a shoe-in for year 2, right?
We will. I'm gonna still obviously prepare my absolute best, and I will appreciate all the prayers and thoughts going into my vet season. So thank you.
You have our thoughts and prayers. I promise you, Dara. And good luck. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday at the Majestic Theater. Thanks for calling.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. DCC Dara joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. She sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice girl.
Wants to be a sportscaster.
Yes. We should talk her out of that. No, it's a great profession. Are you kidding me? I like her personality. She's got a great personality and speaks very well, and I think she's going to do just fine.
She's going to do just fine. Now we just have to figure out how are we going to give away tickets to go to that show.
It's a good question. Maybe should we do a YouTube thing? Maybe how do you spell Dara?
No.
That too easy?
That's too hard.
Come on. Are you kidding me?
I was thinking if you were paying attention, we should ask a question on something that she said.
Let's see.
Were you paying attention?
Well, at times, yes.
Or just Google image?
I was paying attention.
Were you?
At times. Well, sometimes.
Uh-huh. Can you come up with a question with what you just heard?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of questions.
You got anything?
I got
something
nothing.
that she said.
Well, you got something in mind. Obviously, you're fishing over there.
I could come up with 3 or 4. I was just seeing if you can come up with one.
I got no imagination.
Well, no, it's just, what did I just hear? Can I come up with a trivia question to see if they were paying attention?
Well, I know they were. Everybody's looking at her picture, and yeah, they were paying attention.
Were they now?
Sure.
And you want to just give it away on YouTube?
We could do that. I mean, poor YouTube never gets anything.
Yeah, well, they get stuff all the time.
They do?
Well, sometimes.
Well, all right.
It's been a while.
I'm trying to remember her. You mentioned it. Her favorite dessert.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it is, but I know you know. So we'll.
You want to go with her favorite dessert?
Let's do that.
All right. What's her favorite dessert?
DCC Dara, and this is for our. If you're going to get on YouTube, if you're not there, you should get on there, get involved with the community there, and thumbs up, subscribe, and all of that kind of stuff.
Are we going with kind of a generic answer or the full answer?
It's got to be the full answer.
The full answer that she said.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I see there's some there that aren't the full answer.
It's not the full answer.
No, it's not.
It's close. Well, you made it complicated.
I think it's great.
Yeah?
They should have been paying attention.
Could you answer it?
No, but I can't win the tickets.
Well, you can't.
You want to give them a hint?
No.
All right. See that? Now you're up.
It goes a little bit with dance, I suppose.
Okay.
It does. I was going to ask what city does it start in. She said that too. But no, you go with the more difficult one.
Well, I think that's a good one.
On YouTube.
Because I'm really surprised that she even does desserts. I thought they had to be like a strict diet.
Well, I mean, they don't have a strict diet per se. But if you've watched that show, they have a weigh-in every day. So whatever you're eating, you better stay within that weigh-in weight, because that uniform, you get it once and you can't grow out of it.
I like what she said. They can eat whatever they want because they burn so many calories on this tour.
Yeah, she called it balance.
Balance. Yeah.
We don't have that.
No, I have no balance.
No.
I have one speed. That's all it is. So, are any of these correct, Minix? If you're looking on our YouTube page?
I haven't looked on the YouTube page. I thought Edwin was taking care of that.
Oh.
Gary got it.
Who?
Gary Murphy.
He did.
Gary Murphy, are you sure? Let me see. Well, I suppose we can go with that.
Is that not accurate?
There's another word that should be in there, so Gary doesn't have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently Edwin wasn't paying attention either.
Apparently not. Oh, yeah, Gary does on his second effort.
On his second effort.
Way down. So, yeah, Gary does have it. Bluebell Cookie two-step.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gary first wrote Bluebell two-step.
Okay, so it's got to be.
Good job, Edwin.
I was looking at the cookie two-step.
Well, if you look above, about 7 comments above that, he just has two-step with no cookie.
I was looking at the second one.
Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't see that at first. I was just scrolling up for Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary got it.
Well, that was fun.
All right, Gary, now you got to call in and talk to Edwin.
Yeah, call in.
And then go see the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And make sure you ask a question on Sunday.
Yeah, 6563776, Gary, and you win 2 tickets to go see the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on tour. Live show and audition May 25th at the Majestic Theater. All of you folks that tried to win, you didn't win, you can still go to livenation.com and purchase said tickets. So that ought to be a lot of fun. And she did answer the question. It's a live audition. There might be some people there that make the team that auditioned here in San Antonio.
Yeah, there will be. But, and the Cowboy cheerleaders in these shows, wouldn't it, man, because if they get this, they get an automatic run to the finals, right?
Right.
But kind of, what was the old show in New York where they'd bring out the hook and pull you off the talent stage if you sucked? like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if Kelly just did some cuts right there in front of the audience?
That would be awesome.
I mean, that's a big part of the TV show. It's kind of like old Hard Knocks when they used to have the Turk come in, You know, back in the day when Bill Belichick was Bad News Billy and he'd have to give people the bad news that they were cut. That was a big part of Hard Knocks. You know, that's a big part of the Cowboy cheerleader show is when they were doing cuts. If they did those live on stage.
Like you're out.
You made it. You did not. Like you got 5 up there and 2 make it, and you get to see the reaction of the 3 that don't.
I thought you just play some music and you got to make them walk out the door.
Wow. Yeah, you're not on the bus back.
Dude, you've seen that. Kelly Finglass can be
She's mean.
tough.
She's mean.
Yes.
She's a very sweet lady, but she's mean.
But I mean, she's been running the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders for a long time and does one hell of a job, obviously. So thanks again to Dara for joining us, and get out there and see the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders this Sunday. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot to talk about because, well, you like wieners.
What?
As in hot dogs?
Sure.
Yeah. So there's going to be it's going to be a Wienermobile fest.
What?
Lots of wieners driving around. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, sometimes if you do that, you get yourself arrested. And if you do, you want to get out of jail fast, you need to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, somebody you know gets arrested, you get arrested, you know the best place to call for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
We were the Humane Society of the United States. 70 years of fighting for animals. Today, we are called Humane World for Animals, a name that reflects our unstoppable commitment to end animal cruelty globally. Humane World for Animals, the end of animal cruelty.
Have you been thinking about starting TRT? The time is now. You can visit any Synergenics or Low T center and get your consultation and test free. Don't let Low T slow you down this summer. Get the energy you need at Low T Center and Synergenics. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you
should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
KFC has $7 chicken and waffles, juicy hand-breaded chicken, rich syrup-drizzled waffles, and it's just so awesome that you can go to KFC right now while I'm stuck in this recording booth. So fun that you can literally just go out and get sweet and savory chicken and waffles, and I'm in here telling you about it. Love this for me. Try new KFC chicken and waffles for an envy-inducing $7 or feed the group for $25. Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Minnesota Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards has been fined $50,000 by the NBA for using profane language during a media interview after Game 1. Edwards was surprised during his post-game news conference that he only took 13 effing shots in the defeat. Wow. Well, he gets another shot to try and make some more shots tonight. That's when the Timberwolves will take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off 7:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio.
Man, it just kind of flew by.
The hour or the day?
The hour did. It was a great hour.
You got to talk to a cheerleader.
That's what I'm saying. It was like that's like the cherry on top of a great first hour.
Yeah.
Of Bluebell Texas twist.
Two-step
cookie.
Yeah. Sure.
All of the above. It's a great day. I tell you what, it's been a good couple of days. I got to go and see Deborah Knapp last night, final show, and it was like a family reunion. Got to see people I hadn't seen in years.
You've only been out of the TV business for 3 years.
Well, yeah, but you know how this business is, Jason. Whether it's TV, radio, or what, people come and go. You know, I'm talking about people that, I was there for 25 years.
Yep.
And like when I worked there earlier, the people that were there, they came back, and then so it was all kind of intermingled. But, I saw a bunch of folks I hadn't seen in a while.
And you left work early yesterday to go over there, but to give people an idea of how special Deborah Knapp is, and when you get invited to somebody like that's final newscast, Jeff Brady got on an airplane and flew in for that event.
He did.
You think about, and by the way, I saw some of the photos. Because I was giving you crap yesterday for dressing up. Well, you fit the part, man. Everybody in there all dressed up, some wearing ties except Joe.
Well,
but you put on the sport coat. You look the TV guy part.
Well, I couldn't walk in there with shorts.
Why not? You're retired.
I know, but I couldn't do that. I mean,
You're retired.
There are times, Minix, and I know you don't understand this, but there are times when you still have to dress up a little bit.
Sure, funeral, wedding, graduation.
Well, and retirement. Final newscasts. It's in the rule book.
Is it?
Sure, you have to do that. But look, I'm glad I did, and I fit right. I was actually underdressed compared to a lot of those folks.
Well, they had a tie on.
But then you have the production guys that, they just look the same.
Well, sure, because they're not going to dress up. It's just I think what it really is, even though you talk a lot of crap, you miss dressing up daily.
No.
You miss it.
No, I really don't.
Dude, there's a long sleeve collared shirt hanging in the office.
Well, I've got an event tonight.
Uh-huh.
So I've got a, so define business casual. Now, what would be your definition of that? Business casual.
Well, for me, dressing up, what I got on, add a sport coat, you're good. Jeans, always. Golf shirt.
Okay, that's business casual.
Throw on a sport coat. You're business casual.
That's all it takes is a sport coat,
huh? You know, take what you've got on right now, tuck in your shirt, add a sport coat, you're good to go.
Yeah, I could do that. But I brought a
saves you a ton on dry cleaning.
I brought a button down. Dude, you're not kidding.
Well,
it's like I got a raise when I left TV.
Well, you came to radio. Of course you did.
I'm not talking about that. That not necessarily. I'm just talking about not having to go to the dry cleaner once a week. So, yeah, so that's been good.
I mean, it's like you were giving me crap for wearing a sport coat to my daughter's graduation. I had on what I'd have on. I just added a sport coat. You're all dressed up.
I was impressed. I couldn't believe it. I thought maybe your wife made you put that on.
No, that was all me.
Wow.
Yeah. I was told that, well, I mean, it's graduation, you dress up for that, but then Erica was having a party afterwards, and so I thought, okay, and I knew Joanna was flying home, and I was having to do this party, and it looked like kind of a fancy place. Then after graduation, we go back to Erica's apartment, she changed, put on shorts and a T-shirt, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, you're probably happy about that because you did the same thing.
Well, no, I just took off the sport coat, was wearing the exact same thing, but I was now casual. Multi-purpose.
So business casual.
Yeah.
Well, so to me, that's slacks, button down, and a sport coat.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to sell you a timeshare tonight. You could wear what you have on.
Well, I probably
and just
could.
roll in there and be fine.
I probably could.
You could.
Just tuck the shirt in.
Yeah, you don't even really have to do that. You would because you're Joe Reinagel, but you don't have to.
I might do that.
You're going to change.
I might because it's hot as hell outside.
It is.
And to put a long sleeve shirt on is not good.
You're going to be bitching about it all night.
You ain't kidding.
But I know you like to dress up. It's part of your DNA.
Well, I guess.
Hair's always perfect.
I've done it forever.
Yeah.
It happens.
You really enjoyed yesterday getting all dressed up.
Well, I all dressed up. I like what you consider all dressed up, Minix. That's good.
That's what it is. Let's do the headline blitz.
Let's do it.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
So I find this fascinating, Jason, because people I talk to a lot are not baseball fans. They don't watch baseball on TV. But yet somebody must, because NBC is making a play for Major League Baseball rights. They want to take it away from ESPN on Sunday night.
Well, and ESPN has already said we're kind of getting out, right?
Yeah.
And from a national network, it seems to have struggled for a long time. Regional baseball, the regional networks are booming. But nationally, you like watching your team. But you look at ESPN, I mean, how many times do we have to see the damn Yankees, right? Well, and again, those ratings aren't near as good as your local ratings, but the local regional sports networks as a whole struggle because, say, the NBA is a little bit different. NBA, you want to watch your team, but the NBA does such a great job of marketing individual stars that whoever's playing, there's a star on that you're going to want to watch. And so you'll do that, especially if your team is bad. So it is interesting. Just look at baseball salaries. That league is not struggling by any stretch, but it's more regional than it is national.
What I love about this story, NBC, it says one of the headlines is going all in on sports. And that should tell you everything you want to know, that these TV networks like NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, all of them, sports, it is a big deal because that's what people now make appointments to watch. You don't make an appointment to watch anything else. They know that the ratings are still great when it comes to live sporting events.
You look at you just said sports is the only appointment television.
Yep.
Last night we all got home in time to watch the games. Football is king when it comes to that, partly because you've got so few opportunities. Baseball rolls around. You can miss baseball for a week and not miss anything and get
True.
caught up.
Right.
You know, right now you got the hockey and the NBA playoffs going on, so you might not watch the Astros or the Rangers. Fine. There's a game next week. There's a game tomorrow. Like this stretch at night, most people are watching basketball or hockey. I'll catch up with my baseball team in a couple of weeks. You can miss games. Football, you can't. Same with NBA. You can miss a week or a couple of games or miss a game, no big deal. You never do that with your football team.
No, you never do that. And with the other sports, look, playoffs are fun no matter what.
Yep.
Any sport, right? So you're going to watch. But I'm with you. I check the standings, you check the scores,
Sure.
but I'm not all into baseball now. But I will be come July, August, until football season starts, and then that's how it goes. But NBC thinks it's important, and they are getting back in the sports business. They've already got the NBA back, so interesting to see that, and I like that because, well, that's good for us, Jason, quite frankly. How about Wienermobiles? How do you feel about Wienermobiles?
Well, I mean, who doesn't love to see the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile rolling around the highway when it does, right? But we're actually going to see a Wienermobile race, the first of its kind. Now, something you learn every day. There are 6 Wienermobiles across the country. So at any given time, there are 6 of those deals that are at some part of the country. Those drivers, by the way, make $35,000 a year to drive the Wienermobile. But all 6
Sounds like they're getting a wiener.
all 6, though, are going to be in Indianapolis this week, and they're going to race the first ever Wienermobile race on Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Indy 500.
That'll be kind of cool seeing the Wienermobiles race. I had no idea that they were divided, the Wienermobiles, by region. You got the Chai Dog representing the Midwest. You got the New York Dog for the East Coast, the Slaw Dog for the Southeast, the Sonoran Dog for the Southwest. I have no clue what that is, and I don't know how it's representing us. Then you got the Seattle Dog for the Northwest. But the last, not least, this is the Chili Dog racing for the South. So that would be us.
Now, each driver is going to have to wear a custom-made hot dogger suit. Can't wait to see what those look like. And they say they're not modifying any of the Wienermobiles for the race. So I think they all look the same normally, but for this race, they're all given, so you got some rooting interest because you roll up 6 vehicles that look essentially the same. How do you pick one? So you want the Chili Dog to win? Who doesn't want the Chili Dog to win? And they're a school board member in town called Chili Dog. Right?
That sure
I mean,
is.
everybody's going to root for the Chili Dog. Slaw Dog. But, yeah. So Friday afternoon, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Find it weird, though, that they picked Friday afternoon for this. But that must be the only time they could get on the track.
Yeah, probably so. By the way, the Indy 500 is Sunday. So that's a big deal.
They're only racing 2 laps.
The Wieners?
Yeah.
Huh.
2 laps.
Well, maybe they can't go much farther than that. I know how they feel.
I'm just curious because wasn't there video of one of the Wienermobiles at I think it was Chicago Raceway, and it was doing like the I don't know, something there, and it fell over. So I wonder what the rules are. If they're going to be able to do any bump and grinding out there on the racetrack, trying to get ahead.
Yeah.
If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing.
That's it, baby. Whoa. Well, that could be entertaining.
I just the TV commentators better come up with every innuendo they can think of.
That's funny.
Especially if that last place Wienermobile is taking the lead.
Kind of petered out. Or the last place guy, right? Wow, that's going to be interesting.
He's able to come from behind to get the victory.
Hey, that's what she said. Wait, hello, we're doing a live radio show. Speaking of that, Chase, remember the story we had about
I know.
Sophia Cunningham?
Oh, yeah, her.
She was sleeping with the boss?
Yeah, she's
the
not.
CEO. Apparently, she says she's not doing that.
Uh-huh.
Do you believe her?
Well, was she going to lie?
Well, I don't know.
I've never slept with that dude. Have you seen him?
I would. Hey, look, the dude's rich. I mean, he's the CEO of both the Phoenix Suns and the What do they call the Sparks? What are the women's team?
Mercury. Los Angeles has the Sparks.
I knew there was a Sparks out there.
Uh-huh.
No, she claims she didn't do it, so I guess we'll give her a break. And Sophia Cunningham is now with Indiana, so she's playing with Caitlin Clark now on that team. But she's shiny, not bad. I could see where that CEO would be attracted.
Well, and she said the person that files the lawsuit, she has no idea who that is, and it turns out that even in the lawsuit, the guy doesn't claim to have firsthand knowledge of her sleeping with the boss. It was a rumor that was going around.
Uh-huh.
So now she's caught up in it. She denies everything.
Well, deny. It's the best way to do it. It wasn't me. Wasn't me.
That's a song.
Well, it was an old Eddie Murphy joke, too.
Yeah.
Loved it. And the penny's going away.
This is weird. Not that the penny's going away. That is kind of weird. But what it costs to make a penny. The U.S. Mint has made its final order of pennies. And they're going to stop producing the coin when this current group runs out. Cost-cutting measures. By stopping the pennies production, the Treasury expects an immediate annual savings of $56 million in reduced material costs. Apparently, it takes 4 cents to make a penny.
See, that's just crazy.
Well,
I mean, honestly. And you said something about the nickel, too, right?
Well,
it's like $15?
Yeah, 14 cents.
Oh.
It's 14 cents to make a nickel. But there are 114 billion pennies currently in circulation. That's over $1 billion, Joe.
So we were having a little debate, not debate, but conversation about what would you do. You go, I don't know, to 7-Eleven and you're up there. You got a $20 bill and it's, I don't know, $13.23. What do you do if there's no pennies?
Well, I mean, eventually, don't you think all change is going to go away?
Who knows?
I mean, will the store round up or round down? Because now, granted, if there is over 1 billion pennies out in circulation, I don't think we're going to run out of those while we're alive.
Yes.
And I'm talking to everybody listening right now. But at some point, although we seem to be closer to a cashless society anyway. You know, you go to any event now, any kind of stadium, they're all cash free.
They are.
You know.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just worried about Vegas. You got to keep cash around for that, don't you?
Well, you can stay away from the penny slots.
I always do. I always do. Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, there's some interesting stuff going on out there, including the NFL. Dude, I tell you what, it's always NFL time, is it not?
Always.
Always NFL time. Cowboys just wrapping up their OTAs. I think today, in fact, is the last day. And, Jerry Jones is a great owner. Jim Irsay, I think, is a great owner, too, just judging from what we heard today from Peyton Manning and Pat McAfee. And we'll talk about that. He passed away, in case you didn't know. So we'll talk about that and Jerry Jones and the world of the NFL when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
I was once asked by a girl, gun to head, you've got to make out with one guy in the world. Who would you make out with?
Caitlyn Jenner.
And I said, I don't know if this is the correct response or not, but what I said was, modern or historical? Yeah.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, swing,
How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky.
Bueller.
You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Have you checked out the new Lion and Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there tomorrow. Lion and Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion and Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wow. That sounds entertaining.
Metallica.
Nice. See, I like Metallica. I couldn't tell you that. You knew that right away. I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, that's cool. This is the Blitz. I know that. San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason.
Glad you know that.
Yeah, I do know that. It's hard to forget that. Metallica. I like Metallica's music. I'm just not the connoisseur that you are.
Sure. It's all good.
But it's good. I'll listen to Metallica every now and then. It's kind of on the playlist of when I get into a rock mode.
Which is rare.
Which is rare, but it happens. Depends.
You hear Metallica when somebody else's playlist is on. Let's be honest.
No, I actually listened to Metallica when I first started the show because you were talking about them all the time. I thought, I need to get back in and hear what it's all about. So it's actually on my Spotify.
Okay.
So every now and then I'll hit that thing. And, it's all good. It's all good.
You know, one of your favorite people in the world did a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan needs a raise. How the hell did he do that?
Aaron Rodgers. Now, they talked for 3 hours. Now, granted, not a sports show. So, and I didn't listen to 1 second of it. But Mike Florio said or wrote on Pro Football Talk that he listened to all 3 hours over 2 days. And he says of the 184-minute conversation, free-flowing back and forth, variety of non-football topics, he came away with 3 inescapable conclusions and wanting those 3 hours of his life back. So if that saves you from wanting to go listen to it, sorry, Joe Rogan, but if you're Joe Rogan, and look, all credit to what that guy has built.
No, he's huge,
right?
yeah.
Whether you agree with him or not, just from what we do for a living, you got to tip your cap. Yep, dude, you found an audience and a way to make a whole lot of money. But you're talking to Aaron Rodgers, and you don't ask him one question about his future? Now, unless Aaron was like, dude, I'll do this, but let's not talk football. Let's talk conspiracy theories. And Joe was like, oh, yeah, we can do that. But people are tuning in to see if there's going to be any indication on when is he going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't think he's going to. Jason. I really don't, because, I mean, I know he's got several people close to him. He did mention this that are battling cancer.
Yep.
It's either that or I think he might wait and see if there's a team that loses a quarterback throughout during the season, and maybe he slides in there. Who knows? But look, I just wish the dude would retire. He's loving this right now. He's loving it. Is he going? Is he not? Is he going to be here? Is he going to be there? Aaron Rodgers is soaking that up, man. He's loving it.
Well, I mean, I still think ultimately he signs with Pittsburgh. The Steelers owner said yesterday, we're still giving him time. There's no deadline. I mean, we're giving him time. Jim Nantz is, he was on with Rich Eisen today. He thinks that he's going to end up in Pittsburgh. When they were talking about the NFL schedule and the games that they have, and some of those games that the Steelers have in a prime window are because they're expecting Aaron Rodgers to go there. I do find it interesting because you're talking about a guy who is from California, lives in Malibu now, and if you're the state of California and you're losing a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you realize how bad things have gotten. But the only on his future, according to Mike Florio, that Rodgers addressed was the question on whether or not he would continue to live in California, and the answer was, quote, I think I'm going to get out, which obviously Joe Rogan did, right?
He did,
California, I can't do this anymore. I'm out.
Well, it's tough there, especially for rich guys. I mean, the taxes are so high that it's got to be hard to live there, and that's sad because California is one of the most beautiful places, especially Southern California.
Yeah.
Well, Northern too, but the
anywhere,
weather is
anywhere
fantastic.
on the coast, yeah.
Yeah, the weather is fantastic there, so that's too bad. But I just hope he doesn't move to Texas.
I mean, who cares?
Didn't Joe Rogan move to Texas?
Yeah, but I don't think Aaron's going to be your neighbor.
Well, probably not. No, he's not. But
so I mean, who knows where he's going to move? But that was the only real question about his future that he answered. And again, Joe Rogan, I don't know if that was like, dude, let's talk about everything but football, because apparently, according to Florio, Aaron Rodgers believes in every conspiracy theory out there.
He does. Well, he was big against the COVID shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been doing that for a long time. Look, he's a weirdo. He's a weird dude. I'm saying that because all of us are weird in some form or fashion, but he's a weird guy. Very talented guy, obviously, but he's a little strange.
If Mike Florio says you're kind of nutty,
yeah.
Again, it's 3 hours long if you want to spend your time. I'm just going to go with Florio's recap, and that's 3 hours he can't get back. So,
well, dude, I'm going to tell you something. No matter what you feel about Joe Rogan, to be able to interview somebody for 3 hours, that's tough.
I would imagine it is, although, I mean, we do a 4-hour show every day. If you've got somebody that's kind of interesting and you've got a bunch of topics and the way that the casual setting of a podcast like that, you're BSing with a dude that you know for 3 hours. I mean, imagine it's 3 hours because there's no time limit on it, so you go until you feel like the conversation has run its course. And apparently they went over all kinds of different things and topics and conspiracy theory ideas. I don't know.
Talk about his underground bunker that he goes and
I don't know.
Smokes weed and mushrooms.
There might have been some funny things depending on where you are politically. One side you might find it funny, other side would be offensive. But there I don't know. No word on if he's going to sign with the Steelers yet, based on that. Now, speaking of a quarterback who is, I don't know. Joe Milton did some incredible things at OTAs, just showing off his arm strength, which is, all right, cool. It's OTAs. But the headline, new Cowboys quarterback Joe Milton flashes upside in chaos and wild OTA outing. Dude, seriously? That's a headline.
That's a headline.
That's a headline.
Well, you got to have something to do with OTAs. There's no contact there. Joe Milton, if you're unfamiliar, is the backup quarterback to one Dak Prescott. Boy, Cowboy fan, you better hope. Just hope that Dak stays healthy.
Why?
Dude, and maybe
Joe
very
Milton
entertaining.
flashes upside in shorts.
Here's his upside. He ran for 20 yards on a busted play.
Yeah.
That's the upside.
Caused chaos because the defensive guys didn't know if they could hit him or not.
Well, and then he throws 2 interceptions. You're getting more like Dak every day.
Stop.
Here we go. Wow. Fits right in Dallas. Look, Joe Milton shows a lot of promise, but there's a reason why New England said let him go. They're not just nice guys and say, hey, Joe, we want to give you an opportunity. Please. He's raw, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of talent, but he's raw. Look, if Dak gets hurt, the Cowboys, you want, how about Aaron Rodgers? Wouldn't that be interesting? Dak Prescott gets hurt early. You give the call to Aaron. Well, how would you feel about that?
Well, I've seen him win a lot of games there at that stadium.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I mean,
would Jerry do that?
He'll be a Steeler by then.
We'll see. He may be waiting for the opportunity to fill in for some injured quarterback. If that's number 4, he'd still you're still pretty high on this guy, so he'd still give you a shot to make a run.
I mean, in all seriousness, if Dak were to get hurt early, like say in training camp, like he did, or like how he got the job initially, because remember when you had all those injuries piling up from Tony Romo to Kellen Moore,
yeah,
everybody was like, well, Nick Foles is available. I mean, Dak was already there. Nick Foles?
Yeah,
is Nick Foles available? I mean, that's what you would be doing. Like, do you really trust Joe Milton? No, but nobody trusted Dak. And then, you think about that incredible rookie year that he had.
He had a great rookie year. So maybe all Joe Milton needs is an opportunity. You just better hope he doesn't get it this year.
Yes, that's the hope.
That would be
That
nice.
is the hope.
Speaking of opportunity, the Indiana Pacers went into New York and took advantage of their opportunity to steal Game 1. Did you like the choke sign from Tyrese Halliburton? I loved it. How about you? We'll ask you and you and everybody else if you like the choke symbol. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday morning on the Morning Huddle, we got more basketball to talk about, but that's just the beginning.
There's hockey, and what's the latest with the Cowboys? We'll get into that and plenty more. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Join the Blitz tomorrow at the new Lion and Rose, the Dominion location. It's the best happy hour around with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites with free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6. Tomorrow at the Lion and Rose located off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the ninth. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
There's always that music that is synonymous with a sport, right? And there's Edwin playing the NBA basketball segment. I wonder why he's doing that.
Because the rundown says we're talking basketball.
Talking basketball? He's a smart man. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick's here as well. And coming up in just a minute, we're going to give away some tickets to see Simple Plan. Bigger Than You Think Tour, September 5th at the 713 Music Hall. That is in Houston, by the way. So if you can go to Houston on September 5th, we're going to give some tickets away probably right up here at the end of this segment. So if you don't get tickets, you don't want them here, you can get them online at livenation.com. Basketball was fantastic last night. I know you were watching hockey and you had basketball on the little TV, but it was fantastic.
It wasn't. It was an incredible comeback late, but it wasn't a great game. It was a great comeback and a colossal choke job by the New York Knicks.
I loved it. And the Tyrese Halliburton thing, man, there at the end, although he thought he won the game.
I thought he won the game.
Everybody thought he won the game, and then they go, we're going to review that, and the toe was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to overtime. But by that point in time, the Knicks were cooked. They were gassed.
The only winners last night, in New York anyway, were the headline writers for the newspapers, and they had a field day with that collapse by the New York Knicks.
Well, did you see the fans in the Garden? Man, they just got quiet. I mean, just quiet, especially when he hit that, because everybody in the building thought that was the game winner. And the way it went in was fantastic. He hits a back iron, goes straight up in the air, and boom, right down into the hoop. It was fantastic. I was not rooting for the Pacers. I'll tell you that. I had the Knicks minus 4.5. So I lost my shorts last night, but and a few other things. But I was happy the Pacers won, and I don't think the Knicks can handle them in the series.
I said yesterday, I thought New York would win Game 1 in the Garden, but Indiana would win the series. And what was weird about last night's game, just being completely honest, I'm watching hockey on the big TV. Once Dallas had that 2-goal lead in the third after their incredible comeback, the Edmonton choke, if you will. Then I switched it, and I think when I switched over, it was a 12-point New York lead. At no point during regulation did I actually think New York was going to lose that game. Because while Indiana was making shots and threes and they were chipping away, all New York needed was one stop and a free throw, a bucket, something. And the way Cat had played, the way Jalen Brunson was playing, I just, at 3 minutes, at 2 minutes, at 1 minute, I just never felt like Indiana was actually going to win the game. At that point, it was all about the spread. But I mean, honestly, I never.
Yeah.
And then once the thing went to overtime, I never felt like New York was going to win in overtime, even though it ended up being just a 3-point win for the Indiana Pacers.
I don't understand Tom Thibodeau and his substitution patterns. He'll take Brunson out of the game for defensive purposes, and he'll do the same thing with Cat, and he'll put in that big dude Robinson. And it's just I don't know. It just seems like you want your stars in the game when the game matters the most.
Although I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree with the questioning, but he doesn't roll very deep with his bench.
Not at all.
And his guys look gassed.
Yeah.
And so were those substitutions out of need versus this is what I'm trying to do, because he knew those guys needed to get a quick break. And maybe he was thinking the same thing. I mean, you got a 14-point lead with a little over a minute to go or whatever it was. You're up 20, you should win. Although I think we've all learned in these playoffs that a 20-point lead isn't necessarily safe.
But they had a double-digit lead with like 3 minutes to play. Aaron Nesmith was just in fuego last night. I mean, the guy was hitting everything that he put up. But I tell you, the Knicks you got to be embarrassed by that. And I know you can't stop a guy when he's on fire like that. Although you might want to try and at least put a hand in his face, because they didn't do much of that either. But my goodness, that guy was on fire. And man, when it started rolling downhill, it was hard to stop. And I just think the Knicks, the collapse that I've been waiting for, I think is about to happen. I don't think they can handle the Pacers. They've got too much. They got too much depth. And they're just going to run the Knicks to death.
I don't know how you regroup by blowing a 14-point lead in the final 2:51. Even what the lead was in the final minute. For that shot to go in, the Knicks are claiming to be team of destiny, at least in the East. Maybe it's the Pacers. Now, Charles Barkley said a couple of things last night that I want to get into. One, Charles Barkley, after the game, said the NBA needs to end the ban of Halliburton's dad.
It's time to let Mr. Halliburton back in the building.
Yes, it is.
Adam, I'm asking you, hey, my man paid his dues. He did something really, really stupid, but he's been punished. And I'm asking you and the Indiana Pacers to let Mr. Halliburton back in the building for game 3 and 4. I mean, he paid his dues. It shouldn't be indefinite. He's been punished enough. He would never do anything that stupid again. So, Adam, you know how much I love you. And my man Kevin Pritchard, y'all let Mr. Halliburton back in the building for game 3.
So you're saying the game's in Indianapolis?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because let me tell you something. He won't come up to New York
no,
acting
you don't,
like that.
No, you don't want him. You don't want him in this building.
No,
but back at home,
I'm gonna tell you something. He come up to New York doing that crazy stuff. He won't make it back to Indy.
Well, he come in New York, he still may not make it back, even if he acting right.
Yeah, look, I agree, especially if, say, the Pacers go back to Indiana up 2-0. I mean, you don't want Dad to miss that, but I'd make sure he's got strict rules.
I totally disagree.
Wow.
I mean, it was an indefinite ban. He's paid his dues. He's missed what, a couple of games?
He had to miss the entire series with was it Cleveland?
It was short. I think the only exception to that ban, if you're the Indiana Pacers or you're the NBA for this year, paid his due. We don't know what, he wasn't banned for X number of games. It was indefinite. What he did was so wrong. To just say, oh, man, his kid's playing great now, you should let him back in. The only exception and the only time I think I would end it if I'm Adam Silver is if Indiana is about to clinch the NBA Finals and win the championship, and they're playing in their building.
So you let him in for game 6.
I mean, if that's, only in the NBA Finals, to let him go to game 3, game 4, and I wouldn't let him be courtside. I wouldn't, and again, if Indiana wins and when the families are coming down, somebody can go get them. But what he did, and I know because it was Giannis who maintained his composure, it did not get near as ugly as it could have been. But yesterday on Instagram, Chad Forcier, former assistant coach with the Spurs, had some video because he was the assistant coach with Ron Artest right before Ron Artest went up in the stands for the Malice in the Palace. So Chad was the guy trying to hold him back. And I saw that video again yesterday. And the NBA dodged a bullet because Giannis kept his composure. I know what Charles is saying, that compassionate have your dad there. There was video of him in a bar last night watching the game because that's where he's allowed, doing the choke signal and seeking out the attention. So, and granted, I don't know if his dad was seeking out attention, but TV cameras knew where Dad was.
Of course they did. It adds to it.
So I disagree with Charles on this. For this year, this postseason run, the only exception to that rule I would make is if Indiana is about to clinch the NBA Finals and host the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
Well, what if they don't? Are you going to let them in the fourth quarter? I mean, because if you let them at the start of, say, a game 6, say they've got a chance to clinch that thing, and they don't.
Then they don't. But if they've got a chance to clinch, Dad can be there.
Look at this. I mean, a lot of people feel, look at Man M, no way. Actions have consequences. That's on our YouTube page. Wow. Look, Dad made a bad mistake. It was horrible. It was stupid.
He did.
But come on, dude. His kid's about to, go to the NBA Finals.
About to go to the NBA Finals. That's not the NBA Finals.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I just think, would you feel differently if Giannis would have punched him? And then there's this big brawl.
Yeah, then I would have said he paid his dues because his face would have been smashed in.
I mean, there is that. I get where Charles is coming from, and I understand that compassion part of it. But at the same time, the NBA, I felt like dodged such a big bullet. That was the right call to make. It is a privilege to have access to courtside. If he were, a regular fan, he probably would have been arrested. Fans get banned from stadiums
they do.
all the time.
They do.
And they're permanent. I know it's your kid, but it's your actions, and it's the consequences of your actions. The only time I think that you're about to clinch the NBA Finals, and the trophy's in the building. Whether they do or not, that's that first potential clinching championship game, not the East Finals, the NBA Finals, would be the time I'd say, okay, and here's the rules you have to follow.
Wow, you guys are tough. Now, I was all for the ban when it happened because you can't allow that and you can't have it. But, as we move on, he just, an old guy made a stupid mistake. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah. And you know what your consequences are for your actions.
Wow.
And I just, has he learned? There's still punishment. I don't know.
Holy cow.
It's a privilege. And sometimes your privileges get revoked.
It is a privilege. What he did was pretty stupid. So we'll see what happens if Charles politicking for Dad works out or not. But I feel, I don't know why. What is it about today? I feel compassion.
I don't know.
Was it Dara? What happened?
I look at that. I mean, although Charles today is probably answering more questions from his boss, although this isn't necessarily Charles's fault. Hot mic.
It is Charles' fault.
Well, I mean, because because if you're around a microphone, and especially if somebody in the other room, like Edwin, is supposed to turn them off when you're going to break, you think the microphone is off. If you're around a microphone, there's a chance it could be on.
Can you believe that he never made a defensive team?
They were also winning 2 games. I can't believe you were trying to wedge that in when I'm trying to tell him what the vote was for MVP.
I can't believe let's say these guys who vote don't know the they're doing.
Ernie's like, dude, I'm trying to do my job. You're talking. I can't get over there. And he dropped the F word.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. But it's Charles. I mean, they're not going to say anything to Chuck.
I mean, he'll get an email.
An email.
But it's the audio guy's fault.
Well, it is.
I mean, they all thought they were off. The mics were off.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to do that. Chuck knows better than that. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you listen to Pat McAfee these days, I don't even think it matters anymore.
They try to dump some.
Dude,
they dump the F word.
I was listening today, and I heard a lot of made me blush.
The S word, yeah. One day we'll be able to say that, too.
You think so?
Sooner rather than later.
I just don't know that honestly, do you think you could?
No.
After doing radio all this time, they said, okay, now you guys can say whatever you want. I still don't know that I could do it.
I remember going on a podcast once, they're like, you could say, I can't.
I can't.
No. I can't.
Oh, man. People don't understand because I'm not exactly the cleanest mouth in the world.
I'm a sailor. I was in the Navy.
And so it's like, but when you're on the radio, you kind of know that you can't do that. And so it's kind of cool. We might be able to, do this when the mic's off tomorrow. We're going to be out at the Lion and Rose tomorrow. We're going to be broadcasting doing the Blitz Live tomorrow. It's the brand new one there off of I-10 between Dominion and Bernie Stage Road. We're going to have giveaways every hour while we're on location. Plus, you're going to have a chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, plus more. And their happy hour is fantastic. How about $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 appetizers. So make plans to join us out at the Lion and the Rose tomorrow. We're going to be broadcasting the Blitz live. It's the I-10 location, brand new location there at the Dominion. That's going to be a lot of fun. Will be a lot of fun. The only thing we may not be able to do there, or anywhere for that matter, is have CBD products and gummies. The Texas politicians today, in their ultimate wisdom, are banning some of those things. We'll talk about that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Stevens Roofing, they know that summer's heating up, and they want to tell you about it, and they want to give you a little bit of a warning and a head start on this thing because your best defense can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your roof. Those triple-digit temperatures that we've already had, and you know that we are in for a lot more. They can crack, they can warp, they can loosen your shingles, leading to leaks, high energy bills, and expensive repairs. That's why right now is the time to call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Local, family-owned, and built for South Texas conditions, and they know how to play tough in extreme heat. Look, their experienced team's going to come out. They'll inspect your roof for free. They'll make sure it's sealed, secure, and energy efficient, so you're protected for the long haul. It doesn't matter if it's a metal or composition roof, either way, commercial or residential. Stevens Roofing covers all the bases. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or you can visit stevensroofing.net to schedule that free inspection. Stevens Roofing and Solar, keeping your roof in top shape so you don't get caught off guard when the heat throws its best pitch.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text EAT to 64,000. That's EAT to 64,000.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there tomorrow. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The 12-team college football playoff will move to a straight seeding model this fall, rewarding the selection committee's top 4 teams with the top 4 seeds and a first-round bye. Big change there. Hey, we had an overtime thriller last night in the East. Tonight is Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. The Thunder and newly minted MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they lead that series 1-0. Game 2 tip, 7:30.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio.
We appreciate that. A lot of good comments there. You can get a hold of either one of us on Twitter, at Jason Minix, at Joe Reinagel 210. But however you're listening, if you're driving around this beautiful city, thank you for taking some time to visit with Jason and I.
Absolutely. And, if you're tuned in right now and you want to win some tickets,
yes,
we've got some. Simple Plan, September 5th at the 713 Music Hall down in Houston. Bowling for Soup is also playing on that bill. It's going to be a great night. Let's give away some tickets.
That's a great song they have, 1985.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
You learned that yesterday.
I knew that all along. Are you kidding me? Yeah. We can't do 1985 because they'd be calling all day.
No, but I'd imagine some people would want to do some Delta 8 at the show, and now they're not. So let's do caller number 8, 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. Again, the show in September in Houston. If you don't win the tickets, you can buy them at livenation.com. Again, caller 8, those tickets will be yours. And I say that about Delta 8 because today our in a 95-44 vote, Senate Bill 3 passed in the House, banning all THC products.
Dude, I don't understand this at all. I really don't. And it's Dan Patrick, and I don't know what side of the fence, if you're listening, that you fall on, and it doesn't really matter. Dan Patrick is the moral king of the state of Texas, apparently. And what this does is it's going to hurt a lot of people who have businesses that deal in this stuff. And isn't there something else that Texas politicians can deal with?
Look, now, a Texas House passes bill banning sale and possession of THC and cannabis products. I don't know if there's another step that it has to go through, so I don't know, but this is the first step towards it going away. I don't know ultimately what will happen. Now, whether you use it or not, I don't. So, but I look at this, and I know a lot of people that do, and when I read in this CBS article, THC is an $8 billion industry in Texas.
In Texas alone.
Just in Texas.
So I guess we're doing okay that we want to get rid of $8 billion, whatever the taxes are on something like that. It's unbelievable. Dan Patrick said, quote, "I've been here for 17 years at the Texas Capitol, 10 years as your lieutenant governor. I've never been more passionate about anything." That's a quote from your lieutenant governor. Because he says, what hurts kids and minors, and these shops are real close to schools. And
sure.
Dude, please.
And so are, I don't know, liquor stores and other things. I just look at this now. In this CBS article, it talks about when things became legal across the country back in 2019, there was a little bit of a loophole, and the cannabis companies were able to jump on the loophole. And what Texas did today was essentially close said loopholes. I look at other states that have legalized sports gambling or gambling, other states that have legal marijuana, and we're just talking about THC here, which is, the different things there. I don't know enough about all this, and again, not a user, so that's what it boils down to. I mean, there are things in there with loopholes, and, sometimes loopholes are good. Leave them there.
Yeah, leave them alone. I just don't get it. And for whatever reason, Dan Patrick has appointed himself the morality king in the state of Texas. And look, it was an overwhelming vote, I have to say. I mean, it wasn't close today, but look, there's farmers or people that grow this stuff. There are people that have businesses, and I just don't get why he thinks he's got to take care. Look, you can choose whether you want to do it or not. I don't see anybody out there forcing it down a kid's throat or anybody else's.
Well, I look at, I think a lot of veterans and some of the veteran pages that I follow, guys that are dealing with PTSD, this is great for them. And so again, to see this today, and I saw a tweet earlier today, which is kind of comical. It said, in Texas, they trust you with guns and not gummies. And, but again, you're talking about an $8 billion business industry that was created because of loopholes. And again, there's so many other things that I think they should be focused on. And I would imagine if you are a user, the passion you would have against it, but I feel it. When you have something that was made available, and then you get some politicians that decide you don't want it. It's like that. Let me choose a better word than what I'm thinking. The lovely state representative that we talked to up in the Dallas area, that guy. Who's against sports gambling, and all the reasons he said. And then we asked him, well, send us your data, because he kept touting all this data. And literally this guy sent a one sheet that looked like a third grader was learning how to use PowerPoint, but none of it was actual numbers. It was a lot of could be or potentially this, but there was no real data that he was touting about why they don't want to legalize sports gambling. He doesn't like it, and, chances are you could lose some money and go home and beat your wife.
Exactly.
There was no data that said that actually happens.
No, there's not. Look, again, we should all have the right to choose what you want to do, and these things are not, from my understanding, not that bad. I know a lot of people use that stuff to help them sleep. It just it makes no sense to me, and I just don't understand. It seems to me there's more pressing issues out there that our state government could be dealing with other than this. It just doesn't make any sense.
I look at the medicinal and therapeutic aspects of it. And when you think about in states where it's legal or other not, you can get prescription THC or marijuana to help in your pain management and other things like that because it works. There is a reason this industry has changed. It's not taboo. And like it was 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. I mean, it's not let's, sneak out of school and go smoke a blunt. I mean, that's not really what's happening anymore.
Well, I don't know. Are you sure?
Well, I mean, to a degree. It's got other uses. There's that, too. It just seems bizarre. And, again, Dan Patrick, this guy keeps getting elected, but this one makes no sense to me.
I'm hopeful that he's about to retire, and that seems to be the rumor. Apparently, this has still got to go through the Senate. But it's a ceremonial vote, according to this. Now, Governor Abbott has declined to weigh in, according to this article I'm reading, deferring to lawmakers to decide on their preferred approach. But a spokesperson for Governor Abbott declined to reveal the governor's plans for signing this bill. He's going to give it thoughtful review, anything that hits his desk. Now, he could veto the bill. He could veto this thing.
Hold on. What does thoughtful review mean?
Let
me see what checks come in from this lobby or that lobby, because I know it. Like I was just in Arizona last week for my daughter's graduation, and one of the byproducts of legalized marijuana is alcohol sales being down, and so you wonder how much that might factor in banning this in Texas. You know, what is the lobby saying? And again, you know, I'm a beer drinker, always going to be a beer drinker. That's me. You know, that I don't know. It just seems an interesting ban, especially when you see that it's an $8 billion industry.
Well, which is just unbelievable, and the people that it's going to affect. I mean, you see these CBD places popping up all over the place.
And again, all it did was make it legal, and taxes were paid on it. People were smoking weed before it was legal, right?
Yes, and we'll be smoking weed still.
Yes.
If they outlaw this thing. So it's the same with gambling.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we still gamble.
Careful.
You find a way to do it.
Shh. No, you don't.
Yeah. And you know what? I haven't touched my wife. I'm afraid she'd kick my butt.
You might want to clarify that statement.
Well,
I'm sure you've touched your wife, just not in anger.
Not in anger.
Yes.
I haven't.
You haven't beat your wife.
I don't beat my wife when I lose a bet. As that politician stated happens. It just doesn't. And unbelievable. These people drive me nuts, Jason. They drive me nuts. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
No.
You lose a bet, you don't beat your wife, do you?
No.
You're afraid she'll beat you back.
Yeah. You know, now granted, I'm a responsible gambler.
Yes.
But, and I know
Define responsible.
I mean, you know, some days I have to have peanut butter and jelly for lunch. That's responsible.
That's it.
Did I tell you we're going to Vegas in August?
Yes, you did, as a matter of fact.
Where we're gambling legal. Details coming soon for our next trip to Circa Las Vegas.
I love this. Well, I love them both. Don't get me wrong. But the one in August, because that means football season is right there, man. It is coming up, and it is coming up quick. Oh, I can't wait. And speaking of football season, Jerry Jones, tough guy.
Uh-huh.
He's sending a message.
Idiot.
To Micah Parsons.
No, he's not.
He's sending him a message, and Micah's shaking in his boots. We'll tell you what it is when the Blitz continues here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, guys, summer is here. Gatherings, vacations, different activities, things that require energy. But if your energy is low because of low testosterone, you need to get that fixed, and it's easy to do with TRT at Synergenics and Low T Center. Go to the website, fixmylowt.com. I know you've seen online treatment ads for TRT. It's a pain. First off, you spend hundreds of dollars and a lot of time waiting, unreliable test kits, waiting for lab results. Then you see a doctor that may or may not even be on screen. You don't want to trust your health to that. No, you need to go and trust the experts at Synergenics and Low T Centers. They've been changing patients' lives for a combined 25 years. They know what you need, and they are the best at it. And no better time to start TRT than right now. The consultation is free, the T-test is free, and it's fast. They have an on-site lab, so you process your test quickly, and if you qualify, you need it, you can start treatment that day. Several convenient locations all across San Antonio, and at Low T Center and Synergenics, they give you the power to take control of your health, either in-center care or medically monitored custom-dose TRT treatment at home. And if you're just looking to lose a few pounds, Synergenics and Low T Centers, they make it easy with prescription weight loss medication, and you'll receive a free B12 shot that same day. Most major insurances accepted, so you have no excuse. Book your first appointment now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there tomorrow. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jason just said something that's got me thinking about Texas State.
What?
My days at Texas State in San Marcos. The memories, that's for sure. This is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe, he's Jason. Texas State. What a great time.
UTSA has announced a deal that they're trying to do. And I don't know, Ryan Eagle's going to have to go with like a split T-shirt.
Yeah. I'm a UTSA guy.
You say that. You went to Southwest Texas State.
That's right. So they changed the name on me.
So did the Oilers. You followed them.
I did.
But your kid went to UTSA.
That's true.
You're split. It's a pretty cool deal. UTSA announced today they are aiming to break the home attendance record when they play the Texas State Bobcats September 6th. That is their home opener. They opened the season on the road at Texas A&M. So this Texas State game, and you remember what the Bob Kitties did to UTSA last year, which is kind of, it
was ugly.
It was ugly. But they're doing a 35% discount for the next 35 days.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
It is cool. And UTSA has been dominant at home, 29-3. Over the past 5 seasons under Jeff Traylor.
Well, that's a rivalry, and I'm glad they're playing that game, and I hope it continues every year because it should. Just home and home and all of that stuff because that could really develop into a rivalry. I wish they were in the same conference. They're not. That's okay, but it could still be one of those games that you look forward to at the beginning of the season.
But how cool would it be? The home attendance record was that first ever game. 56,743. And quite frankly, ballsy of UTSA to say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Because if they don't get 56,744, you got to wonder why. But also with the timing of it. Now, on social media, depending on when your team opens, you're about 100 days out from the start of football season.
Right.
Only 100 days. 100 days. Let's go.
Man.
We can power through these next 100 days and get to football season. But also, to try to sell early. Now, 35 days, they put a lot of thought into this, the I-35 rivalry. Let's do a 35% discount, but also let's get an influx of cash because of that revenue share model that's going to come. Sell a bunch of tickets early, and let's go. I like the idea. And in fact that it's Texas State, I imagine there'll be some Bobcat fans in the building.
Well, I would think so. And if you're planning on going to that game anyway, get your tickets done and out of the way, 35% discount. I would love to see that happen. This also says, and I should know this, they're going into their 15th season. That's incredible to see how quick 15 years have gone by. You mentioned my daughter. She was the very first cheerleader back in the Larry Coker days.
Wow.
I mean, in first game. So it's crazy to think that it's been 15 years.
I remember being at that first game, or quite frankly, the year that they didn't play games, but Larry Coker was coming on once a week kind of as our football analyst on the show. And, I've got one of those original 11 jerseys that they didn't have many, but they gave out to somebody. You probably have one, too.
I got one, too, yeah.
And you're right. The fact that 15 years, so they'll have some cool stuff for that. And kind of like what we talked about when they announced their season ticket prices. They're a lot cheaper than you think.
They are. And for good seats, too.
Yes.
I mean, for really good seats, you can get season tickets. I mean, they're not expensive. And it's a fun atmosphere. I mean, it really is. And I say that, I love football of all kinds, but you go down there, it's a great time.
Well, you look at, like last year's attendance numbers weren't great because while they won all their games at home, they came off losses and then they'd win at home. And, we know San Antonio is typically a walk-up town. And so, man, they had that rough game last weekend. I don't know.
Sure.
Last year was kind of weird. But in this new world of revenue share, UTSA has to sell a ton of tickets. They have to. So for all the people that say, why don't you guys do more, it's same for you guys. Buy in tickets because this is what UTSA needs. We've got a team, and I know everybody wants to support the team. Best way you can do them right now, if you're not donating to any of those other deals, and even if you are, is buying tickets. That's one of their biggest revenue sources.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good home schedule, too. You got UIW they're going to play. People have been asking for that game for a long time, especially UIW types. Rice, Tulane, East Carolina, and Army. So not bad. Not a bad schedule at all for their home schedule. So, look, I think it's a cool deal. I applaud them for thinking outside of the box on this kind of thing. And I think that's what they're doing and putting it out there and saying, here it is, let's go.
And Ben Senior just sent a message. He's got beer at his tailgate every game. So if you're thirsty, go find Ben in the parking lot.
That's right. He'll give you all the beer you want.
Yeah, well, until he runs out.
Well, he's not supposed to run out.
He should never run out.
He should never run out.
That's a bad sign.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a cool deal for UTSA.
Dude, I think it's great for UTSA, and I hope they sell a lot of tickets and are very successful this year. That A&M game will be tough. Just saying.
So you're saying they're going to walk into that game 0-1?
Well, I didn't say that. There's always a chance.
I mean, seriously.
Okay, probably. But there's always a chance. So buy your tickets now.
Yes.
So that won't matter. I got a question for you real quick.
Yep.
Have you ever been called a barfly?
Not to my face.
Now, that's got a connotation to it that's not very good, right? A barfly. I guess it's a woman who hangs out in a bar a lot.
Is it got to be a woman?
Well,
then I guess I've never been called a barfly.
I've never.
But I have been known to hang out at the Roo Pub a lot.
Well,
I feel like I should have my name on a chair at the Roo Pub.
Well, then folks probably call you a barfly. I don't know.
But I'm not a lady.
Well, this lady is in North Carolina.
A North Carolina barfly.
A barfly. Now, and this is the headline of the story. Barfly in fear after thieves snatch her phone and whisk it off to China.
What? What?
Dude, is that you can't make this up. It's in the New York Post, for goodness sake.
Well, they made it up.
Well, I don't think so.
Well, they made up the headline.
Well, they did.
So what's the story?
But calling her a barfly. Well, she was having drinks with some friends.
What else were they going to call her?
Well,
drunk
lady?
floozy lost her phone at the bar?
A lady?
Oh.
I mean, a person that was in a bar? You know, they call her a barfly.
Well, I mean, they're writing the headline and, the characters matter there for it to fit. So they had to come up with I don't know.
Now, according to a news station there in North Carolina, this strip of bars where Blake, that's her name.
Her name is Blake.
Blake
the barfly.
Was with her friends. And she's gotten a reputation of being, this has gotten a reputation of being a place where thieves whisk away people's coveted devices. The plot thickens.
Okay.
So she finds it, and this barfly seems to be the latest victim. Dude. Now, she realized her phone was missing. She tracked it down using the Find My feature on Apple that they offer, right? And realized it was... it first arrived in Miami and then landed in China.
Okay.
Help me make sense of that. Why would you take a phone to China? They give you more money for phones there?
I mean, they've got the ability there to crack it a little easier. I don't know.
I mean, this is the damnedest story.
Were there a collection of phones that went? It's like one guy didn't steal a phone in North Carolina from said barfly, fly to Miami, and not get another phone before he went off to China.
Well,
why wouldn't it go to San Francisco first? I mean, it seems like he went on a long route to get to China from North Carolina.
Look, this is a reputable newspaper, I think.
Yeah.
It's
a reputable show, I think.
Why would you call somebody in a news article a barfly?
Because they were trying to make the headline fit.
But they keep calling her barfly in the whole story.
ChatGPT must have wrote that.
Barfly. Now, I don't know. This lady, maybe she hangs out in this bar every day. Barfly. I mean, to me, that's kind of a negative thing. Would you ever call somebody a barfly?
I can't say that I have or would. It's not one of those terms that are rolling around in my noggin. Then I'm thinking, I can't wait to use this word. I might now. Are you a barfly?
I don't think so. Although I hang out in bars. I'm not there every day, but I've been known to frequent bars. It just baffled me, and I feel sorry for this lady because she's not.
Was there a picture of her?
She's not unattractive. I mean, yeah. I mean, does she look like a barfly to you? She's standing there. She's blonde.
Somebody I know would say that was shiny.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go that far.
Barfly, according to Google's slang, derogatory.
See?
A person who spends much time in a bar or similar drinking establishment. A promiscuous person, especially a woman, who frequents bars hoping to find sexual partners.
Oh, well, there you go. So maybe that's why they're calling her a barfly.
Well, she's looking to hook up. Which every dude there is looking to find the barfly.
Well, every dude there may have already found the barfly. That's why she's called a barfly.
Well, I mean, see, now, it doesn't apply to you or to me because we're both happily married.
Yes.
But see, James Pledger often talks about, there's terms he uses when he goes out to a bar. And see, now he's just going barfly hunting.
See, does he use that term, barfly?
No, but he's going to start.
I think he should.
We're going to teach him.
Barfly. I mean, this woman looks innocent enough.
See, what I don't understand the dictionary, a person who spends much time drinking in bars, I'm good with that. But when you add in generally a promiscuous woman hoping to find sexual partners, if they would have just said people hoping to find sexual partners, then I think all of us would be considered barflies. But now it's just another slang, derogatory term for a lady.
I guess so,
Good
man.
Lord.
Barfly. I've heard the term before.
Uh-huh.
But
Have you been called a barfly?
I've never been called a barfly.
But when you were single, you would go to a barfly hoping to what? Find a sexual partner.
I didn't know if she's a barfly. And quite frankly, why would I want a barfly?
You're looking for a sexual partner.
Well, I'd like to have one that hasn't been with about 100 guys already.
When you were single, did that really matter?
Well, no, probably not.
Were you looking for a good time or a long time? There is a difference.
Yes.
And I've known you a long time.
There is a difference, yes. We're not talking about me, Jason.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying.
Talking about Blake the barfly.
You didn't go to the bar hoping to not go home alone.
No, I mean, that's obviously the
goal of every single person going to a bar.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if a barfly is what you want. You want that.
Oh, no, wait.
You want that one that, I've never seen you here before. Not barfly.
Well, see, you would say that because you're the barfly in that scenario, and so she has no idea about your reputation.
I'm not a promiscuous woman.
I'm glad you said woman at the end.
Not even on Saturday nights.
Okay, Oscar.
I just have never heard. I just can't believe they did that to that poor lady, barfly. Unbelievable. Hey, we were going to talk about Tough Jerry.
Were we?
Yes, we were. He's not a barfly, is he? Don't answer that question. He's tough guy, Jerry Jones. He's got a message for Micah Parsons. We will tell you about that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, how long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday morning on the Morning Huddle, we got more basketball to talk about, but that's just the beginning.
There's hockey, and what's the latest with the Cowboys? We'll get into that and plenty more. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. It's Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Tuesday, save up to 70% on top brands and get a queen for just $89.99, the lowest price ever. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
We're back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix. We've got some tickets we want to give you because we're going to be up at Globe Life Field on May the 30th, and we'd like for you guys to be there as well. And we'll give you the tickets. We just won't give you anything else. You got to get there yourself, and if you're going to stay, you got to do that too. But if you want to go see the Rangers take on the Cardinals May 30th, there are keywords. And, Jason, I need your help on this. So
All right.
the keyword is supposed to be ways to ditch work, right, or call in sick or whatever the case may be. I Googled excuses for calling in sick for one day.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few. I mean, some that you might think of, right? Sick kid, which we've done. Dental accident. You had an appointment. You got a migraine. Food poisoning's another one.
I think we get creative on this one.
You think so?
I think so.
So you got something rolling around in your brain there.
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
I think our keyword needs to be barfly. Because sometimes you have a barfly experience, you might need to take off work the next day.
You get a little itchy?
I'm just... Not where I was going, but I'm not sure I like the way you think either.
Wait. Okay, I like it. Barfly. Now, not now, okay? Not now, Edwin, but when we say you got to be the first caller, or are we going to do a number?
Well, I like, I don't know, seventh caller.
All right, seventh caller.
But only if you can actually go to Dallas.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. You got to be able to go to Dallas and get there yourself, but we're going to give you tickets. They're good tickets to see the Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals May 30th. It is a Friday, so you can call in sick that day and get your booty up to Dallas and see the Cardinals and the Rangers play. Jason and I will do the Blitz there on that day from the stadium.
Yep.
So
and then we'll help you find barflies at Texas Live after.
There might be a few there. We can point them out. We won't be able to help you. We could be your wingman.
Here's the thing. Our wives are going to be there. They're really good at helping our friends.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So when we say, not now, but when we say you call in, seventh caller, to give Edwin the keyword barfly.
Edwin, you know the keyword, right?
Write that down, Edwin.
Yep.
Edwin doesn't know what a barfly is.
Edwin's a barfly.
Yeah, Edwin. He works all the time. They got to
Sure,
have time to go to a bar.
I didn't even know what that meant.
Oh, stop. You went to Johnson, you know.
That's true.
I know some people must have ditched work today to go to the movies. And you may have seen Tom Cruise in person. All kinds of videos floating around. Apparently, Tom Cruise was at Fort Sam. I haven't seen any video of that, but there's now videos of him popping into the AMC theater down at River Center. And, in fact, there's some photos of the Tom Cruise motorcade outside River Center Mall and during the IMAX event. And I'm looking at those vehicles. Our buddy Andy and his company, CTA, driving Tom Cruise around today.
Oh,
yeah,
swanky
big
Andy,
day for
swanky,
Andy.
yeah.
Absolutely. But, and while it would be cool, you're in the movie theater, and then all of a sudden Tom Cruise walks in. By all accounts, they introduced him. He said a couple of words, and then he left.
Well, I don't blame him. He had to get the hell out of there. Now, did he go before the movie or after?
It doesn't say.
I hope he went before, because if it sucked and then he showed up, you might boo him.
Dude, Tom Cruise walks in, everybody's going nuts. And they
true.
did. But it's not like, it doesn't appear that people got to meet him or take a photo with him or any of that kind of stuff. And the whole video doesn't last very long. He said some words, the director said some words, and then they were out. And I really hope that he changed his itinerary some. Because remember when he announced that he was coming, he was like, I'm going to go to Fort Sam, and I'm going to go pop in at a theater in San Antonio. And there was a lot of speculation whether it would be the Palladium or River Center. River Center was it. But I imagine they were all probably sold out just in hopes that he shows up. But then he was going to fly to Dallas and go get barbecue. And I'm thinking, dude.
Yeah.
Tom.
Don't leave here.
Dallas has some okay spots, some good spots, but their barbecue scene isn't quite like San Antonio. It just isn't.
No, he needed to stay here and have barbecue, and hopefully maybe Andy or one of his guys told him that.
Once the itinerary is set.
Jeez.
But good for Andy.
Well, didn't he go to Fort Sam first?
He was supposed to, yeah.
But
I haven't seen anything, but then, it's military.
No, that's cool. If he did that, that's cool, and I hope he stayed a little bit longer there. I get it. Geez, Tom Cruise. You're not going to stick around at a theater very long. You're going to say hello, and I think everybody would be pretty satisfied with that.
I mean, sure, and you're in and out, but I think most people there are hoping to get a selfie or an autograph, some sort of meet and greet if you're doing a thing like that.
Well, I bet you they got some pictures of him.
Yeah.
Just not with you in it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes. Seems really cool, though, the fact that he did that.
Dude, it's awesome. I think it's awesome, and I can't wait to see the movie. I'm a big fan of those Mission Impossible movies. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down. He's talking about making a Top Gun 3.
Yeah. He's busy.
He's busy.
He's getting it done. Although
very rich.
Still disappointed in, him going to Dallas for barbecue.
Well, he'll learn, right? I mean, he's a Hollywood guy, right?
So
what do they know?
He's not going to know the difference between good barbecue and bad barbecue.
That's true. He'll probably think it's the best. You go to Bill Miller and say, "Oh, this is great."
Probably orders his brisket lean.
You got to watch that figure.
Go to a great barbecue spot and order turkey.
Yeah. Oh, not good. Not good. Well, I'm glad he was here. That was good.
Yeah. So Jerry Jones, Tom Cruise has a playbook that he follows. It's very successful. Jerry has a playbook that he follows that just pisses everybody off. And he's following the same playbook here, it appears, with Micah Parsons. It wasn't that long ago that it felt like a Micah deal was going to get done early. And there were some reports that a handshake agreement had been made. Remember all that?
Yes.
It's May 22nd, still no deal. And at the owners' meetings, Jory Epstein tweeted out that, quote, I asked Jerry Jones for an update on the Cowboys extending Micah. The answer, quote, I haven't talked with him in about 4 or 5 weeks. And, of course, that'll be necessary if he's going to get a new contract. But he's got a contract. That's the point. Be sure and clear about that.
So he's under contract. See, I would love to take Jerry in his tough guy stance there at his word. The problem is he said the same thing about Dak. He said the same thing about CD. And he caved on both of them.
And Zach Martin.
And
going back to Zeke, I don't understand Jerry playing tough guy. Now, if Jerry, and he says he now hasn't talked to Mike in about 4 or 5 weeks. And if that's true, okay. But, Jerry wants to cut out the agent. Jerry wants to do all these different things. If there's a date in the calendar that we're all unaware of, although it seems like guys get signed all the time, or when it takes effect, but it just, like, damn well that Micah's going to see that, and that's going to piss off Micah. Why does Jerry take all his star players, all these guys that are going to get top-of-market contracts that are supposedly family and cornerstones of the franchise, leaders of the team? Why, as a manager, as a leader, would you want to piss off your top employees?
Well, he's Jerry Jones. You realize how many contracts Jerry's done outside of football and probably played the hard guy role too. Again, I just give that no weight because he's got a plan in mind, and maybe, because people are going to still be talking about it, and he's got a plan, so give me the publicity, and then when Micah holds out for training camp, then they'll work out a deal. That'll be the conversation at camp. When's Micah going to show up? When's this going to happen? And all of a sudden, just like CD last year, bam, deal reached.
Again, now Micah has seemingly done everything Jerry has asked. He's shown up for some voluntary stuff that he hadn't shown up for the last 2 years. I think part of that is Micah trying to show Jerry that I'm going to be the leader of this defense. With D-Law gone now, it is his defense. They've got a new coordinator in Eberflus, so there will be some things differently on that side of the ball. I just wonder why Jerry continues to play this same card when it doesn't really work. Yes, we know he's under contract. All the other guys are under contract too. All you did was piss them off. Now, granted, you get unpissed in a hurry when you get a contract that size.
Exactly.
But why put them through this if you know you're going to get it? Or at the very least, say it. Now maybe the conversations with Micah and David Mulligetta are different than what he says in the media, and they know that, so they're prepared for it. But it doesn't seem that's the case because we've got too many examples, and the CBA allows players under contract to hold out to try to get a new contract. That is their only leverage. So unless the CBA changes that says you have to play out your entire contract before you can start a conversation for a new one, then you're going to continue to have players do this. Other teams do this, and they seem to get deals done. Jerry's like, well, you're under contract. Come to work. We'll get to it when we get to it.
You know, I mean, in the real world, that's the way it should be. But we're talking about the NFL, and that's not the way that it is. But in the real world, our boss would say the same thing. You're asking for a new contract, you're asking for a raise. First of all, they say, hell no. But if they were, in a magical world, were to give you a raise, but you're under contract now. When your contract runs out, we'll talk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it works in the real world. Obviously, the NFL is not the real world. And look, Mulligetta's going to tell Micah Parsons, if you don't have a deal by the start of training camp, you're not going. And you know he's going to say that, or he's going to recommend strongly that he not go.
He's either going to hold out or hold in.
Sure.
And quite frankly, if I'm Micah Parsons, and I'm advising Micah Parsons, I wouldn't let him step foot on that field until he's got his new contract.
No, because anything can happen, obviously. We've seen it.
And so when you look at it, and again, that's the way the CBA is set up. So, Jerry, you are 100% correct. He is under contract. But you also understand better than any of us the rules in which players start to ask for their new deals. But Jerry always seems to play this same card, and it always seems to cost him more money. It certainly cost him a lot more money with CeeDee Lamb. With Dak, who knows if it did or didn't, although nobody else has surpassed $60 million a year, right? And where I thought Jerry was actually going to let Dak start the season and play the thing out, day of the opener, he caves. He gets that deal done, and it seemed like Dak Prescott got everything that he asked for. Did you read that report that Brock Purdy was looking for $64 million,
yes,
and he got 53? And again, only 53. But I don't blame Brock Purdy for asking, but reality slapped him in the face, and he's still set up for his grandkids are set up for life.
He's in great shape. And again, that's and I applaud San Francisco for staying firm. I mean, Brock Purdy was just following the deal. I'm next, and I should get more than Dak Prescott. I mean, he was just following the rules, right? But that San Francisco had it other ways. Look, we'd like to keep you, but we're not going to keep you at $65 million a year. We'll keep you at $53 million a year. And I think there's some terms in that contract. It's pretty complicated, and I haven't really researched it, just kind of glanced at it, that work in the 49ers' favor quite a bit. But 180 some odd million is guaranteed either way, no matter what happens. So he's set.
Yeah, I just look at why he continues to play that same card, especially when it sounded like and was reported that they had a handshake agreement. And Micah, quick to say, I ain't doing any deal without David Mulligetta involved. And it just feels like, I don't know, in March we were going to have a deal, and it's now May 22nd, and Jerry's, it's the same song. And it's, I don't know.
It's deja vu all over again. I mean, it really is.
Man, I've run this play 3 times in a row. We haven't gained a yard. Let's do it again. Eventually, we're going to get there.
I get the feeling, Jason, honestly, that Jerry doesn't give a damn how much he has to pay. He's just going to do it on his own terms. If the price goes up, we think that's a big deal. But I think Jerry does. I think it's, hey, whatever it is at that time, but we're going to do it on my terms when I want to do it and not until. And if it costs me more, it costs me more. And I get the feeling he doesn't give a damn.
He doesn't, because he has said many times, everything that he truly values in life, he's overpaid for.
Yes.
And you can throw Dak Prescott in that category. He's overpaid. You look at CeeDee. CeeDee got a lot more money because he waited. And waiting and Jerry's stubbornness actually benefited CeeDee Lamb. Sometimes, or you do wonder, because I don't see anybody else that's going to sign that's going to raise what Micah's going to get.
Adrian Hutchinson, Mike.
I mean, and Aiden Hutchins had that big press conference today where he announced he's fully cleared. Certainly possible, but it's not going to go, I don't know, $4 or $5 million more per year. I don't think. But You know, these salaries never seem to get smaller.
No, they don't.
And so waiting, I don't know. And granted, Jerry could play extreme hardball because Jerry's leverage, Micah's leverage is to hold out. Jerry's leverage, I can tag you next year and I can tag you the year after that.
Wow.
I mean, Jerry could.
He could.
He could.
Wow. Wouldn't that be some drama? Can you imagine?
I mean, he did it with Dak, and Jerry somehow thinks he won that deal.
What, Dak made like
a gazillion dollars.
He made a lot of money with those 2 franchise tags, and then obviously a lot of money now. But my gosh, can you imagine the drama if Jerry said, "The heck with it, you're on the tag"? What would Micah do?
You play on the tag.
I guess you have to.
Play on the tag. You know, there's a lot of comments on YouTube about barbecue.
Yeah.
And the best barbecue places in San Antonio. And Chris Summers saying that I don't know Dallas barbecue. And fair.
Well, Claymore's the same way.
I've been to some barbecue places in Dallas. I've been to some good ones, and I've been to some bad ones. There's one called Pecan Lodge that is supposedly very famous. It was not good, and we waited for like an hour. That was a bit of a disappointment. Just the random spots along the way, you can find some, but also inconsistent. Houston barbecue, same. And you can find that in San Antonio. There are some good barbecue joints and some not so good, and some that are inconsistent. But there was a Yelp list not long ago that had San Antonio as the number 2 barbecue spot in the country. They had Austin number 1, which felt more Central Texas-y when they started listing off some of the places. But I don't know. I mean, there's some good spots here.
Absolutely, there's good barbecue here. I found anything better than Pinkerton's?
Pinkerton's is always solid. Reese Brothers over by the Dome is good. 2M is good. Augie's Barbecue is good.
All right.
One of my favorites is Barbecue Station.
Oh, well, of course, yes.
You know, got Burnt Bean in Seguin, although I've never actually eaten at Burnt Bean. I've had their barbecue, but I've never actually been inside their restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been there either. What's the place? City Market in Luling?
Yeah.
Pretty good place.
Well, and again, there are some. I mean, I'm going to say there's all bad in Dallas, and that's not what I said. But, dude, you're here. Get your barbecue here, and then go to Dallas.
Well, at least try. That way you know. And is it Dallas or is it more Fort Worth?
Fort Worth probably has some better places, but they all get lumped in the same DFW.
Well, they do. They do.
David Goose says DFW beats the crap out of San Antonio when it comes to barbecue. And I try to go most of the time when I'm in Dallas, if I'm there for more than a day, I find a barbecue spot that I've never been to. And I totally disagree with that. And I go to all the highly recommended places, although I want to say the Texas Monthly list, the number 1 on this year's list was a place up in Dallas that I'd not been to.
Well, we might need to try that out. You know what else we need to try out? Caller number 7. If you call us at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. If you can go to Dallas and see the Rangers and the Cardinals, we have a pair of tickets for you. All you have to do is tell Edwin what the keyword is that we mentioned a few minutes ago. If you can go. If you can't go, don't call. All right, so it's May 30th. That's a week from tomorrow. All right, but we have some good tickets for you to go to Globe Life Field and see the Rangers and the Cardinals play on May 30th. We're doing the Blitz from the field, from Globe Life Field on that Friday. So we'll be there, and we hope to see you. But if you can go and you want these tickets, be caller number 7 and give Edwin the keyword that we mentioned to you just a few minutes ago.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Game 2 tonight of the Western Conference Finals. You want to watch that game? I know you are. You want to add a little more excitement to it? Make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog. WNBA in action, hockey, baseball, obviously. Underdog is the leading place to make all your sports picks, and you can do that easily on Underdog. So much fun to play. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars. And when you're playing, all you have to do is pick higher or lower on predicted stats. and you can play for as little as $1. If your picks are all correct, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Join the Blitz tomorrow at the new Lion and Rose, the Dominion location. It's the best happy hour around with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites with free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6. Tomorrow at the Lion and Rose, located off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Out here, you'll find a community of hardworking creators with loyal followers, along with proud moments worth sharing. And farm to table, well, that's just supper. And whether it's a raised garden bed, acres of land, or something for your animals, we've got all the supplies and are happy to share a little know-how.
Welcome to Tractor Supply. Into life out here.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Have you checked out the new Lion and Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there tomorrow. Lion and Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's tomorrow, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion and Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We got some Western Conference basketball tonight. It is game 2 between Oklahoma City and Minnesota. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We'll get you started at 7 o'clock. Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards fined $50,000 by the NBA today for using profane language during a media interview after Game 1. Edwards was surprised during his post-game news conference. He only took 13 effing shots.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio.
I'm Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix to my right, and we got an hour to go. That's it. It's kind of flown by today, has it not?
It has. I mean, time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely.
Bar flies or not. It is certainly there. Congratulations, James Bowie. He's going to join us up in Arlington for the Texas Rangers game next Friday. This Friday, which would be tomorrow, we're going to be over at the Lion and Rose out at the Dominion to come happy hour with us from 2 to 6. But I want to applaud you, Joe Reinagel.
Okay, please do.
You have read that story now 4 times about Anthony Edwards getting fined.
Uh-huh.
And I know it's on your page, and you haven't read that word one time. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Well, I feel kind of dirty saying effing.
Well, I mean...
I mean, you kind of feel like, ooh.
Well, but you haven't slipped one time, Ron Burgundy.
I know, thank goodness.
Yes.
Well, luckily on my script, there's an F, ****ing.
Yeah.
So it's good. It kind of reminds me.
But you kind of also sometimes, you get an autopilot, you read what's in front of you, and then you go, oh, bleep.
Oh, bleep. Exactly right. So I don't know, man. But see, that story's over for the day for me. No more sports centers, which is nice.
Yep.
So I don't have to worry about that. I made it through. Hey, we're also going to be qualifying somebody for wristbands to the ACL Festival 2025 qualifiers. Second weekend, October 10th through the 12th. If you're qualified, you're automatically a winner because irregardless of whether you get the wristbands or not, you're going to get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 in Stone Oak. So either way, we'll do that later in this hour at some point in time. And you'll have an opportunity. So stay tuned. Who you got tonight? You taking Minnesota or OKC?
OKC.
To win. But what if you were gambling and it's 7.5 point spread? Who would you take?
It scares me because the other night it was 6.5, and I was very comfortable taking that. And you even said at one point, double digits? I don't know. And, of course, they win by 1,000 or whatever it was because they just completely dominated. But part of that is because Anthony Edwards didn't take enough effing shots. I mean, it was Minnesota was so bad from 3.
Yes.
And when you start seeing all the deeper analytics, what were they, 15 of, I don't know, or whatever. They missed a gazillion wide open threes, makeable shots for them. But they have to figure out a way to get in the paint, into the bucket, get to the free throw line. And the defense for Oklahoma City, probably underrated to a degree because, when you think about who's the better defensive team in this series, you should think automatically it's Minnesota. But don't discount what you're seeing defensively from Oklahoma City. They had a great plan for Game 1. Tonight you're going to see all the adjustments, and that's what's going to be fun to watch. I still think Oklahoma City, but probably a bit of a tighter game.
I would think so, too. A little bit tighter game, which leads me to believe that the 7.5 point spread, which it is right now, it might be a pretty good play. Julius Randle played his butt off for Minnesota. He was about the only one because Anthony Edwards, as you just mentioned, had a horrible shooting night. Randle had 28 points. I'm not sure he can do that again. But they got nothing from anybody else. Rudy Gobert, 2 points. Mike Conley, 7 points. Jaden McDaniels, 7 points. So they need a little help from some of those other guys, not named Anthony Edwards, although he's got to step up as well. But what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did was get to the free throw line. He didn't have a great shooting night either, but he got to the free throw line, and he was spectacular there. He got a lot of calls in Game 1. Will that change in Game 2?
Well, I mean, there was an ESPN article today that talked about them down the stretch. From March 1st on, the Timberwolves had the second-best record and point differential in the NBA. But the article says, to be fair, though, they benefited from an easy schedule. According to ESPN Analytics, they had the league's second easiest schedule in March and April. So you wonder if now, with the tougher competition, are they coming back to the reality of what we saw early on when everybody was saying, what happened to Minnesota? We expected them to be so dominant this year. They missed a ton of open shots.
They did.
And they didn't force anything in that game. Now, I say that because I think Oklahoma City had a whole lot to do with that. Oklahoma City has been the best team in the NBA all year. And they showed it the other night. The way they turned it on in the second half, once that wave started going, Minnesota could do nothing to slow it down and stop it. So I say tonight it's going to be fascinating to see what kind of adjustments Minnesota makes to their offensive game plan.
Now, speaking of adjustments, Oklahoma City made that in the second half. It was a totally different game because Minnesota was playing well. In fact, they had the lead at halftime. So, look, I look for a closer game. I'm not sure that Minnesota can handle Oklahoma City when it's all said and done. And there's something to be said about having a – look, Oklahoma City's coming off a very difficult – a 7-game series with Denver, where it was a difficult series for both of those teams. Minnesota was resting. And I just wonder if that played a part in them not shooting well in Game 1 because what they have, like 6 days off in between their last series and the one they started here. That could very well be. Or it could very well be that Oklahoma City's just that good.
Probably a combination of both. But, I mean, 114-88 is not what you expected. But, you know, that third quarter the other day in Game 1, Oklahoma City outscored them 32-18. And then in the fourth, it was 38-22. But at that point, Minnesota knew they were done. But you just look at 15 of 51 from three, and a bunch of those were open. And Anthony Edwards has to take more than 13 shots. He has to.
Effing shots.
All of the above. And try to get to the free throw line. I mean, Julius Randle was good. But, I mean.
He's really about the only one. I mean, he played and played well. But other than that, he didn't get a lot of help. And so they need more players against this Oklahoma City team to step up and with the scoring duties.
And I look at, a lot of talk around the draft lottery when we were sitting at Rue Pub about what could happen, right? And a lot of people say, what about Naz Reid? So I've been paying a lot more attention to Naz Reid this postseason just to see if he would look good in the silver and black. Dude was 1 of 11 in Game 1, 0 of 7 from 3. And he didn't do much on the defensive end. DiVincenzo was 3 of 12 from 3. And again, guys that typically will make more of those shots, especially the open looks.
Well, especially DiVincenzo. I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a three-point specialist. So he's got to play better. Rudy Gobert, he's got to play better. I mean, this guy, he's one of their stars. Well, he's got to play better.
But here's the crazy thing. SGA did not play a great game in Game 1. I know he had 31 points, but he was 10 of 27. 10 of 27.
Yeah.
But he got to the free throw line where he was 11 of 14. And I'll go back. Remember those great playoff battles between the Spurs and the Lakers? What was the storylines going in? Kobe's going to get 30.
Mm-hmm.
So Bruce Bowen, I'm judging you on the number of shots it takes Kobe to get his 30. If he takes 25 shots to get 30, I know Bruce had a good night. If he gets those 30 on 12 shots, Bruce got torched. SGA the other night did not have a great game, even though he scored a ton of points. He probably won't have a lot more games, or he is 10 of 27.
Bruce Bowen was pretty good against Kobe. For the most part.
I mean, Bruce Bowen was
pretty good against everybody.
Pretty good basketball player.
Yeah, he just annoyed the hell out of everybody, which was good.
He was crafty.
He was annoying, which is good when you're rooting for him. Very, very good. So I look forward to the nice game. I look forward to a much better game. So I think it stays within the 7.5 minutes. So you kind of know where I'm leaning here. All right. So you'll know if I'm crying in the morning or happy. So we'll see. I don't know. Boy, I tell you what, the playoffs have been fun. By the way, the General's going to join us coming up here in just a moment. John McClain will join us. We'll talk a little Houston Texans football, plus a little bit of everything. That's what I love about the General. You can talk about everything. It doesn't matter. Nothing is off limits. So the General, John McClain, joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This weekend is going to be absolutely gorgeous. All right, the weather's going to be fine. I know it's a little bit hot, but it doesn't matter. Get out and play some golf, and the best place to do that is the Golf Club of Texas. Look, the Golf Club of Texas is open 7 days a week, so it doesn't have to be on a weekend. You want to play hooky on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Doesn't matter. They'll be ready for you out there at the Golf Club of Texas. So just make your tee times whenever it's convenient for you. I like to go out on the weekends because it's really the only chance that I've got. But you don't have to if you've got an opportunity to do something else. But it is golf season. I mean, it's golf season. So you need to get out and play. And if you haven't been out to the Golf Club of Texas lately, then you haven't been out there. The place is fantastic. They made so many improvements out there. It really is. Then there's the 10 Cup Bar and Grill, which is really a cherry on top of the great golf. Because you get in there either before or after your round. You have some great food. You have a few drinks. The beer's cold. They can make you any kind of cocktail that you want. And none of it's going to break the bank. It is a fantastic place. The whole thing, the Golf Club of Texas, is a fantastic place. And you know exactly where it is. Right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out there for dinner at the 10 Cup, around with your buddies, or your next tournament, the Golf Club of Texas is the perfect place to do any of those things. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
The Morning Huddle.
Kurt Miller, the GM of the Dallas Wings, which I don't know if naming your franchise after a feminine product is the best way to do it. I just always assumed it was like they were hoping to get
I don't think that they named themselves after a panty liner, man. I don't think that.
I thought they were trying to get that Maxi Pad sponsorship.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, bada, swing, bada.
How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky.
Bueller.
You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost, so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. 783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
We're back here on the Blitz. I'm Joe Vinagel, Jason Minix. Tom Cruise cruising around San Antonio.
I think he's already left.
Well, maybe. He might be hanging around somewhere. The only guy that would give Tom Cruise a run for his money is joining us right now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, the General John McClain. Are you a Tom Cruise fan, John?
I am a Tom Cruise fan. I'll tell you this, if I was doing what he did in San Antonio before I left town, I damn sure would have come by and gone on the air with you guys, because nobody could help me promote my new movie like you guys.
It's interesting. A Dallas radio friend of ours just tweeted out that he is confirmed for 90 seconds or less with Tom Cruise tonight at a secret location.
Well, one thing we know about Cruise is he will be running. There is a video out in which somebody who obviously doesn't have a life went through every movie Cruise has made and put together a video of every one in which he runs, and he runs in all of them. And he pointed out how his style had improved through the years, from the way he kept his head, for the way he kept his elbows in. It is just hilarious. And I'm thinking that's like somebody, when the John Wick series was 2 movies in, went through both of them and counted out how many people he killed and put it out how he killed them, where, when he killed them, and whether he shot them, stabbed them, broke their necks. And those are people who don't have a lot of time. And one of the reasons I do like Cruz is he treats the people he's around really well. He treats the people he works with really well. And I love seeing that about actors, actresses, politicians, athletes, anybody of that stature.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a big fan of that series, that whole Mission Impossible thing. So I can't wait to see part 2 of this deal. But we're visiting with John McClain, by the way, the general. And John, I want to ask you your thoughts. How are you feeling about the tush push?
First of all, Joe, maybe you could remind me about part 1. It's been so long, I forgot what it was. And there's so damn many Mission Impossible movies out there, I can't keep up with them. I think I've seen them all, but I can't remember where. Hopefully at the start they will show the ending of the first one, of the last one, so we'll know what the hell's going on, other than the fact he will be running, because I've seen it in the trailers. As far as the tush push, I never liked legislating against it. I'm glad they left it. As I've said before, I think it's a coward's way out. You can't stop it. You can't do one of your own. So you go whining that you want it legislated against. So I'm glad it didn't happen. The problem is Roger Goodell wants it. Competition Committee wanted it out. Goodell wanted it out. Health and Safety Committee wanted it out. At 2 votes short, which means we'll be doing this again next year under the guise of not propelling players forward. The only way you can help them is if you're blocking for them, and the tush push would come under the auspices of that rule change. So I'm glad that we'll get to see it another year. And you know what? You win the Super Bowl with it. They shouldn't be taking things away from you.
No, I agree. I mean, it's dumb. And as much as I cannot stand the Eagles, even their social team, the fact that they used a photo to celebrate Push On, and it was a Green Bay picture, well played all the way around by Philadelphia. The owner meetings, the Lions withdrew their big proposal. There wasn't much to it this session other than tush push. Everything else, onside kicks, you could do at any point if you're trailing, I guess, not that big of a deal. But the talk of a Roger Goodell contract extension, and I'm surprised this isn't just a formality. That guy's made a whole lot of money, but look where the NFL is. Is there a dollar amount that would actually be too much for Roger Goodell at this point?
I think of the last deal. He takes a low base salary and he makes into like 60-something million based on a cut of what he gets for what he brings in. They could pay him $200 million, $300 million, and he'd be underpaid based on what's happened to the NFL and the value of franchises since he replaced Paul Tagliabue. And things are pretty smooth right now. There's a lot going on. They're going to play 16 games overseas. They'll be in China, India. They'll be anywhere where they could spread the brand and get people to bet on the NFL to put more money in the pockets. And the thing about the tush push, Goodell wanted it outlawed. So he sought a team, Green Bay, to be the one that took it to the table. And then he did the same thing with Detroit. They found them, and he said he wants playoffs reseeded. And the reason is, he says at the end of the year when teams have things wrapped up and you see them playing backups, that's not good for competition. So if you reseed and you have a chance to play a home game and you're not the division winner, that gives you more incentive. And I say, if you're the Houston Texans and you've won AFC South the last 2 years and you've blown out teams in the wild card rounds here, then been eliminated at Baltimore, Kansas City, well, if they're not hosting a playoff game, then why should they play a first-place schedule? That would be grossly unfair. And I didn't think this would pass this year because the schedule's already out, and they would have to make significant changes to the schedule before they reseed. So I'm glad it didn't come to the vote because no coach and no player wants to reseed for the playoffs. They want winning the division to count for something.
We're visiting with the General John McClain here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And to that point, I read a story, I think it was Mike Florio, John, who said if you do that and reseed that you probably would not play many out-of-conference games. Most teams, NFC would stay in the NFC for the most part. AFC would stay in the AFC for the most part. He claims to make it more fair. What do you think?
Well, they like playing out of the conference. It's only 4 games. And then the odd year when you play one, you have one more home game and you play an NFC team. So I read that, and I think Florio does a great job of breaking down everything, and he likes to take on the NFL and Goodell and Aaron Rodgers. So I read him multiple times a day. And that's just another example of things they would have to get the ducks in the row, so to speak, before they voted on reseeding. And a lot of it has to do with the schedule. Think about this. They say the Cowboys lost a tiebreaker on the last day of the season, and they did not play a playoff game at home. And then they went on the road and they lost. And the next year they had to play a first-place schedule. That's just not fair. And so that's one of the many things they would have to determine before they put it on the ballot.
John McClain joining us here on the Blitz. John, yesterday afternoon, we all heard the news. Jim Irsay passed away at the age of 65. The outpouring has been tremendous. And the one thing I didn't know about Jim Irsay is the amount of philanthropy that he was a part of. I mean, we know all those rich guys do give away a lot of money, but I didn't realize it was such a passion for him. Imagine you've got some pretty good Jim Irsay stories.
I have a football that I went and took a picture of last night and sent it to some friends that after I retired from the Chronicle after the 2022 draft, I got a lot of things in the mail, and it was very nice, great gestures, and I got a football, opened it up, and it was from Jim Irsay and the Colts with a note congratulating me as it was engraved on 47 years of excellence with the Colts and NFL logo on there 2 times. And I just thought that was such a class deal. Another thing, when I was at Baylor, the head of journalism was named David McCam, one of my mentors that I wouldn't be here without. And David went to SMU, and Irsay was his student. And he majored in broadcast journalism. And McCam had told me years and years ago what a great student Jim Irsay was. And he thought Irsay could have been a really good journalist. He had everything it took. And at that time, Jimmy Irsay was a weightlifter. He got up to a competitive bodybuilder, 290 pounds. Then he started having operations on his neck, on his back, and that's how he got addicted to painkillers. And those were his demons. And not only did he give away millions and millions and millions of dollars in Indianapolis and Indiana and around the country, but the thing, and you could Google this, the Jim Irsay collection of all the things he collected from music, sports, the real world, and he was fanatical about collecting. And there are things on the internet like Andrea Kramer did for Real Sports, Bryant Gumbel's show, where Irsay let her come in his inner sanctum and see his items. And he took those things on the road for shows, and he never would let them charge people to see them. He also played in a band, the Jim Irsay band. He's no rock and roller. He wouldn't let people pay for that. And so there were a lot of things about him that people that knew him understood, and the media loved him up there, fans. Everybody loved him. It's a tremendous loss for the league. Unfortunately, a lot of people around the country, they only know him as a guy got arrested because he had pills in his car, and he fought that addiction, I'm guessing, right up until the end. But it was a tremendous loss for the NFL. He's got 3 daughters. The oldest, Carly, has been kind of running the franchise. It'll be interesting to see what kind of owner she is, if she's hands on or hands off. But she's been involved in the personnel side now for like 10 years.
I tell you what, John, all you have to do is listen to Peyton Manning or Pat McAfee, both of those guys with couldn't say enough good things about Robert Irsay.
Absolutely, and it wasn't just the players who came there. you can just see the tears on their tweets. And but it was players from other teams. I never heard a bad word about Irsay from a player. He took care of his players. He didn't have contract disputes, big ones. Jonathan Taylor, he had one, but he signed him to 2 extensions. But generally, the players never said anything bad about him. And boy, if you're an owner and you have that kind of respect and love, you can't ask for any more. His dad was an alcoholic and a bully and just a despicable man. And Irsay knew from an early age when he got in position to do what his dad did, he learned how not to do things. I read a story last night where he said his dad fired him so many times he couldn't keep up with it, and he has made sure not to be his dad.
You know, it's interesting when you think about Jim Irsay and all the things that are said, and you've covered the league for so long. Jerry Jones is a very out there owner. Robert Kraft is in that book, but a lot of these guys aren't. You don't know the owners. You don't see them very often. You don't hear from them very often. Are most owners like Jim Irsay, or is he kind of one of a kind?
No, he was one of a kind. Now, he talked to the media. I read a story today about a guy who covered him 10 years. Said when the phone would ring at 1 a.m, I didn't have to look to see who it was, and I jumped up and grabbed my notepad before I answered it. And Irsay might talk for 2 hours because he was a night owl, and about the Colts. One time he said, and Irsay, among his collection, a guitar from Jimi Hendrix, guitar from Elvis, the drum set that the Beatles used on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I think it was him who wrote that one of his favorite songs was All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. And one time Irsay sang it to him in the middle of the night. And he was a character. And one of the things he believed in, because he's a journalism major, he understood that you use the media to get your message out, and you treat the media with respect. And there are so few owners out there that do that anymore. And that's another reason Jim Irsay is going to be missed by many.
Well said. The General, John McClain. Follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. John, we appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys not asking me about those stinking Astros. Thank you.
Trust me.
Yeah,
that was by design.
Yeah, exactly right. John McClain, as all our guests do, appear via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Love that guy because not much going on with the Texans, but he knows everything.
He reads all the time.
Right?
I mean, I was going to ask him about the Joe Rogan 3-hour conversation with Aaron Rodgers. In as much time as John has, I don't think that John would spend 3 hours listening to Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't. I don't think I could. Could you do that?
No.
I tried listening to it. I got about 10 minutes in. I said, I'm done.
I saw where Florio said, I did, and I won't get those 3 hours back. That was enough for me to say, all right, I'm good.
He's a bum. That's why. Retire already, Aaron Rodgers. Will you please do us all a favor? All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, NBA playoffs tonight, Oklahoma City and Minnesota. We'll get you ready for that. Plus, we'll get you ready for the weekend as well. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday morning on the Morning Huddle. We got more basketball to talk about, but that's just the beginning.
There's hockey, and what's the latest with the Cowboys? We'll get into that and plenty more. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The water coming in and out of your home is like laughter. Here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, it can be harsh. Now that's harsh. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener enjoy this. Smooth, soft, pure, clean water. The difference is astounding. Hard water, soft water. If you don't have a Kinetico water softener in your home, you're basically inviting destructive hard water to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And that's no laughing matter.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Kinetico of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Kinetico is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own. Don't live with. Live with.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
License number 38961.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Just listening to Big Voice Guy talk about the ACL Fest. We got to get somebody qualified. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. That's Jason. Somebody's got to get qualified because Friday we're going to give away a pair of wristbands to the ACL Fest, October 10th through the 12th. What are you thinking, Minix? Caller number
17.
17. I like it. A little Don Meredith action.
There you go.
How about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Dandy Don is the first one I was thinking of.
I know you were thinking of that.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
Uh-huh.
Who were you thinking of?
I don't know. 17.
Caller number 17, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You will get qualified for 2 wristbands to the ACL Fest. Now, look, if you qualify, you're a winner already because you're going to get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. So good luck, caller number 17, 656-3776, 656-ESPN.
I want to shout out your wife.
Yes.
Maggie.
Please do.
For always looking out for you.
She always does.
It truly is amazing. Your wife is texting you like, dude, your sign's falling down.
Yeah, she said
like,
the
what?
sign on my laptop is falling down, and she's right. That it's I got to retape that baby right there.
Because it looks bad.
Well, I guess, but I don't ever think about that thing.
Well, you don't see that side of it when you're doing the show.
I don't. Well, I kind of do when the camera. I can kind of see it now that I'm paying attention to it.
But you didn't notice that it was droopy?
I didn't notice it was droopy.
You can't have a droopy sign.
Well, Maggie notices droopy things. She does. So I love you, babe.
I know she's listening. I cannot say what I want to say. But I'm glad she's got it fixed like normal.
Yes. I'm glad I got to fix that thing before tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be out at the Lion and the Rose tomorrow at I-10 and Dominion, the brand new one out there. We will be out there from 2 to 6 doing the Blitz, and they got a lot of specials going on out there. $2.50 drafts.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Plus, they got $5 wells, $5 wine, and $5 appetizers as well.
So you're buying tomorrow?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying if you come out, it's not going to cost you a lot.
That's true.
You come on out and enjoy it. Come on out, make some plans. It's Friday. Come on out to the Lion and Rose, the I-10 Dominion location. Brand new place. Hadn't been open that long.
No, and I haven't been to the new location yet.
I have not either. I'm looking forward to
solid.
it.
Your happy hour plans are set. You know what to do tomorrow.
No question. You're buying lunch tomorrow, right?
And I thought you just said you were buying lunch.
I didn't say that at all. I don't think the word buy came out of my mouth at all.
I said, you're buying. You said, sure.
No, I didn't say that.
I checked the tape.
Edwin, burn that tape.
We'll see.
Oh, man. This is going to be a fun day. No doubt about it. Plus, just the fact that it's Friday, dude. It's going to be great. So
now, Sam on our YouTube has an idea. So give the last ACL wristband winners to somebody who's at the Lion and Rose tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Sam, we'll give you all the credit for that.
Absolutely.
Because somebody's going to win the $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, and then somebody will be the last qualifier.
That's it.
And that person, we'll give you all the credit, Sam. But, yeah, if you're out there, you're going to have a chance to get your name in the hat for the ACL.
So we'll do that. Now, you're going to have to come out there before, say, 5 o'clock, though, right?
Yeah, I would say you want to be there before 4 because we'll get somebody qualified early in the show and then do
the Wheel of Death.
The Wheel of Death in the 5 o'clock hour. So, because Sam is a producer, you understand that, you want to do it early, and then since we're doing it twice, you'll do it again late when we actually give away those wristbands, which the 3-day wristbands were already sold out.
Yes, they are.
And I know we did this last week, and we did it this week. I can promise you we're not doing it next week. This is your last chance. Unless somehow we ended up with more than I'm unaware of, which,
Well, rumor has it that we did, but I can't qualify that.
Is that for us, or are we using those on a different station?
Well, talk to Nick Trey. We had a long talk the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. But we'll talk to Nick. Look, this could be the last time, so you want to make sure you're qualified.
It's not happening next week, right?
I can neither confirm or deny.
I'm just saying. So you want to get out to the Lion and Rose tomorrow?
Yes, and so we'll pick a qualifier from somebody that's out there tomorrow, and then the 5 qualifiers will be on the Wheel of Death, and we'll determine who gets those wristbands.
And the Wheel of Death is one of James Pledger's favorite things to do.
It is. And I love how he does it because you pick people off. It's the survivor portion of that. The survivor wins.
You know what really sucks about that? When we started using the wheel, it was to pick winners. So all those names would be on there, and you spin it, and whoever the name popped up first, that was the winner.
Right.
Yeah. Now you're out.
Yeah. If you're the first
you're
one
out.
on the year,
This is when
out.
you're hoping your name doesn't pop up on there.
First one out is the first loser.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not losers because they all get $50 gift cards to the Mellow Mushroom.
True.
So they're winners either way.
Yep. All right. Edwin finally got a winner for
he did
for those qualifiers.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's tired. He's mad at me. He just shot a finger, although I think it was a thumbs up.
Edwin's too nice to do that.
Is he?
In front of you. He might do it behind your back.
Oh, he does it behind my back.
Edwin's a good dude.
Yeah. See, Sam says it'll be hard for me to get out there, but going to try. Dude.
It was your idea, Sam. You have to be there.
Well, and again, make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Call in sick.
That's what we're doing.
If you've used your sick days, call in dead. Just show up tomorrow.
No doubt.
Lion and Rose.
Yes.
You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
Time for What's on Tap and get you ready for the weekend. It is brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com, where you can get your tickets, see their entire lineup, the menu. They've got the young dubliners out there tonight. Tomorrow night, Passing Strangers.
Nice.
Saturday, Ken Slavin.
Nice.
On a Sunday, Words, Wood, and Wire, featuring Ruben V. Ruben V is good. I don't know about all the other stuff.
Well, they got to be good if they're out of Sam's Burger Joint.
And look, you don't have to work on Monday because it's Memorial Day.
That's exactly
So go out
right.
Sunday night and have a good time.
That's exactly right. Hey, tonight, if you want to head out to Green Hall, you can. The Stout Brothers are out there. Stable Hall at the Pearl, Luis J. Gomez is out there. Majestic Theater, Hauser. The Rebel is back. And, of course, the Missions out at Will Stadium taking on the Wichita Wind Surge.
Friday night, Green Hall has Carson Jeffrey. Cat Hasty is at Floors Country Store. I'm not sure what's at Shirley McComb's Empire Theater. ABBA-Fab?
Oh, my gosh.
ABBA-Fab?
Is that an ABBA
ABBA-Fab? Does ABBA, are they tribute band worthy?
No.
Ryan Adams is at ACL Live. The Heartbreaker 25 World Tour. The Missions continue their series with the Wind Surge.
Saturday night out at the Whitewater Amphitheater, Ryan Bingham is out there. Green Hall, you've got John Wolfe, Matt Castillo, and Hayden Baker playing at Floors Country Store on Saturday night. San Antonio Gunslingers taking on the Bay Area Panthers. Freeman Coliseum on Saturday night. Aztec Theater, 3 Lyceum presents Scarface featuring Little Kiki.
I have no idea. I don't know what any of that is.
Yeah, a Paper Tiger, Y'all Out Boy.
That'd be a fun show.
How about that?
Yeah.
Not bad. Oh, Bluebonnet Pals back in black. Little AC/DC tribute band.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
Sunday, again, you don't work on Monday. Great Texas country music band called the Derailers. They always put on a great show. That'll be a fun time out at Green Hall on Sunday. White Denim is at the Stable Hall at the Pearl. The Wallows are playing at the ESPY. At the Majestic Theater, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders on tour. Aztec Theater has the Four Horsemen, the ultimate tribute to Metallica.
So enjoy your Sunday night, that's for sure. You want to do something on Monday night, you still got some. Green Hall's got Eric Dimmer on Sunday night.
Tuesday night at the Majestic Theater, Ryan Eagle is going to see Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
The musical.
Yes.
You going to dress up again?
Sure, why not?
3 days in a row wearing pants.
Lipstick and all. Moulin Rouge.
Did you wear lipstick?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, dude.
I know on TV you had to wear makeup.
Well, I know.
Did you ever wear lipstick?
Never.
Are you sure?
Positive.
If I cross the line, I mean, you're getting defensive.
Dude, trust me. Not doing lipstick.
What's
of course,
on?
Maggie wants to give me a kiss.
Well, that's transfer. That's
okay,
different.
that's fine.
You didn't apply it yourself in your
Got
own
you.
proper
I'm in
color.
good shape.
What's on tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, again online at samsburgerjoint.com. Game 2 tonight, probably the pregame ceremony. SGA will get the MVP trophy. He's already passed out Rolexes to all of his teammates. You can listen to all that action right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Okay, Minnesota is a 7.5-point dog. Are we thinking they're gonna hang close tonight, or are we looking for another blowout?
I like Oklahoma City. I will say this. I don't like that line at all.
Yeah.
I don't like the line. I haven't looked at what the over-under is. I'm having a hard time getting past 88 points for Minnesota in Game 1.
They have to play better. They just have to. I don't see how they could play any worse than they did in Game 1. And they know it's a game that they'd certainly like to have. Heading back to Minnesota, if they can get it 1-1, they're in pretty good shape. So I got to believe they're going to play a little bit better tonight than they did in Game 1. They're going to certainly shoot a lot better than they did in Game 1, that's for sure. So I like the 7.5-point spread. I think I'm going to go that way.
So you're going Minnesota
I think
and
so,
7.5.
Yeah.
The over-under, if you can get 7.5, I just went to ESPN Bet. It's now Oklahoma City 8.5.
Oh, well, I like that. That's even better.
217.5 is the over-under.
Depends. I mean, if Minnesota's shooting, then I like the over. But
but here's the thing. I mean, SGA did not have a great shooting night in Game 1.
No, he did not have a great shooting night. Hopefully he will tonight. That'll do us for us here on the Blitz. Stay tuned for NBA playoff basketball coming up next.
You're riding with the Blitz.